Of course, Whitey played in 4 All-Star games. Lenny Dykstra in 3. The last center fielder, Aaron Rowand, in 2007 represented the Phillies in the All-Star game. So here's the Cincinnati Reds starting lineup for tonight. Willie Taveras back in there in center field. Chris Dickerson gets the start in right field, batting second. Joey Votto's over at first base, hitting third. Brandon Phillips, the second baseman, bats cleanup. Ramon Hernandez, the catcher, bats fifth. Johnny Goins is in left field, hitting sixth. And the bottom three of Edwin Encarnacion, Paul Janisch, and Micah Owings for the Reds. And they're facing left-hander Jamie Moyer, making his 17th start of the season. And he has pitched real well of late.
He has, Tom. He's really kept the Phillies in the games. He's been one of those guys that really helped their starting rotation be a lot better lately. And you know, Jamie's pitched pretty good in this ballpark.
So the first batter he'll face is Willie Taveras, and the first pitch is a fastball taken for strike one, and we're underway.
There's a Southwest Airlines scouting report on Jamie. Last 3 starts, as Tom mentioned, he's really been pitching well and stabilizing the rotation. All these guys have pitched well lately.
Taveras on the year hitting .244 with a home run and 11 RBIs. He's hit in 5 consecutive games. And the corners play in particular Pedro Feliz at third. And a pop-up. Center of the diamond, Chase Utley makes the call. And Jamie's going to have an easy first out.
It's become almost redundant, but it is really nice here tonight. Another gorgeous night for baseball. And here's our Key State Chrysler Jeep Keys to the game. How about winning another series at home and keep building momentum heading towards the All-Star break? The Phillies, as everybody knows, have not been very good in this ballpark this year. And that was a really good win last night, a dramatic win, and a win you had to hang in there and do some little things to win that game, and they were able to pull it out.
Well, the bullpen was outstanding once again in relief of Rodrigo Lopez in last night's game. Here's Dickerson, who sends one in the air to left center field, but Greg Dobbs is there. So Jamie Moyer has 2 quick outs here in the top of the first inning.
Well, the hardest hits to get in baseball are 2-out hits, and they got a 2-out hit from Shane last night to win the game.
I mentioned that bullpen. The bullpen has allowed just 1 earned run in 15 innings of work on this homestand. And overall, the staff has an ERA of 1.67 on this homestand.
Yeah, and they were going to talk to Madsen before the game tonight, and there's a chance he is not available. And of course, as the game plays out, we'll see.
Joey Votto riding an 11-game hitting streak, takes a pitch for a strike.
But he's pitched a lot lately and went 2 innings last night. So Charlie said before the game he had to talk to Rich Doobie, and just then they were going to make a decision.
They did not use Brad Lidge in last night's ball game because Madsen did pitch those 2 innings.
Right, they didn't use Park, and he's been using Park later in games and has more confidence in him.
1-1 the count to Votto. Good changeup, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Phillies begin play today 6 games over the 500 mark, 2 games ahead of the Florida Marlins, who will be in Arizona to start a series tonight. Meanwhile, the Reds 1 game under 500 at 41-42, 3.5 games back in a very tight National League Central. And Votto chops it foul toward Billy Hatcher. And the count holds 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jamie's lifetime numbers against the Reds are somewhat deceiving. He's 1-4 with a 5.29 ERA. But 7 of the 9 appearances for Jamie against the Reds took place between 86 and 91. Line drive toward the shift and right through it. A base hit for Votto. That's a 12-game hitting streak.
That's hard to believe he could get that through there. And Votto does hit the ball hard. He's a lot like Ryan Howard when they overshift him. Once in a while, you can actually shoot one through if you hit it hard enough, because there's not much room.
So he's aboard with 2 outs here in the top of the first. Brandon Phillips, who is 2 for 8 in this series, overall hitting .268 with 13 homers and 56 RBIs. I mentioned that Jamie, in 7 of his 9 appearances against the Reds, they took place between 86 and 91. He was 34-49 as a pitcher during that time, so that's why his numbers are somewhat deceiving. He's allowed just 3 earned runs in each of his last 2 outings against the Reds. And he delivers a strike on the inside corner. outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. From a statistical standpoint, Brandon Phillips is second to Chase Utley in an awful lot of offensive categories for second baseman in the National League. He is second in RBIs to Chase, third in home runs. And he has been a very productive hitter for Dusty Baker. Upstairs, and it's 2-1. Jamie, over his last 3 games, has won all 3. He's allowed 6 earned runs during that span, and as has been the case a lot of this year, he's kept his team within reach. Off the end of the bat, a pop-up right behind home plate. Should be an easy play for Ruiz. Jimmy Moyer bark it out. You've got room. You've got plenty of room. And he did. And the inning is over. So the Reds get a 2-out base hit. That's it. Shane Victorino due up second. What a round of applause he's going to get here at the ballpark. No score here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the Phillies lineup for the final game of this 4-game series. Jimmy Rollins leads it off at shortstop. Shane Victorino, the center fielder, bats second. Chase Utley's at second base, hitting third, followed by Ryan Howard, the first baseman. Jason Worth, the right fielder, hits fifth. Greg Dobbs makes the start again in left field. Boy, his numbers are really improved. He'll bat sixth. Pedro Feliz, the third baseman, hits seventh. Carlos Ruiz does the catching tonight, batting eighth. And batting ninth and pitching is left-hander Jamie Moyer, of course. And they are facing 26-year-old right-hander Micah Owings, who is making his 16th start of the year.
He wants to know if he's allowed to blow in his hand. You see him shaking his head. No. Umpire Scott said, no, not tonight.
Jimmy Rollins leads things off for the Phils and takes a strike.
See, his walk-strikeout ratio isn't good. Here's our Southwest Airlines scouting report on him. He's a sinker ball pitcher, change-up slider. Look out when he has a bat in his hand. You really have to treat this guy with respect.
Well, and last time the Phillies saw Micah Owings, it looked like he was pitching with some arm pain because it looked like he was short-arming everything.
And you know what? It's funny you should mention that, Tom. He's doing it right now. And I asked Jeff Brantley about that, one of the broadcasters, former major league pitcher, of course. He said, nope, that's just the way he pitches. He said if he gets his arm on top too much, everything straightens out and it doesn't sink. So that's it. Just looks like he has a sore arm.
Well, the count is even 2-2 to J-Roll.
And the Phillies hit him pretty hard that afternoon, too. Got him out of there quick and took his bat out of the lineup.
Jimmy 2 for 9 on this series. Overall hitting .224 with 7 home runs and 33 RBIs. And he pops it up. Up the third baseline, Encarnacion comes down. 1 away. Let's get a listen to this reaction that Shane Victorino is going to get when he is introduced by Dan Baker.
Now batting for the Phillies, Tigers Shane Victorino.
A lot of this capacity crowd coming to their feet for Shane.
All these people that are clapping for him probably have trouble moving their fingers. They've been typing for him.
And Shane takes a pitch for a strike.
You talk about feeling like you have a part or something.
No question.
Absolutely.
Well, it's the second time that a Philly player has been voted as the extra player onto the All-Star team. Bobby Abreu was voted back in 2004. And Shane, along with Brandon Inge of the Detroit Tigers, well, they were selected to be the 33rd players on the respective rosters. And they kind of band together with this Brand Torino campaign.
Yeah, they were kind of a tag team match.
Yeah, and it seemed to work for both of them.
Shane would like that analogy because he's a wrestling fan.
Here's the 2-1 pitch to Victorino, and it's outside, 3-1.
Micah Owings will pitch away a lot. He did it with Jimmy Rollins and popped him up with a changeup. You see all these pitches away to Victorino. He's not a guy that pitches inside a whole lot.
And Shane is aboard with one out here in the bottom of the first inning. Well, prior to the ball game tonight, as Shane was warming up, he got a very nice thank you from the fans and tipped his cap toward those fans. And his campaign manager, Chan-Ho Park, and the rest of the bullpen congratulating him as they walk out to the pen.
Well, he'll take a lot of energy to St. Louis, that's for sure. And when Victorino's in that clubhouse, he can light it up. It'll be interesting to see some of those guys who haven't been around him too much, how they react.
Well, Shane stole 2 bases last night, 15 stolen bases overall, as Chase Utley takes one for a strike.
Owings is a big guy, obviously, and doesn't throw real hard, but reports on him are that he can hold runners fairly well. That he has a pretty good move over there, and that he varies it.
Line drive, base hit to right field. Victorino looks over his shoulder, now rounds second, heads to third. The throw by Dickerson goes flying past the cutoff man, and Victorino goes sliding into third base. And the Phillies have runners on the corners with one away.
And that's the difference in Dickerson being out there and not Jay Bruce. Probably would not have run on Jay Bruce because he charges the ball and he's a really good thrower and very accurate. But with Dickerson out there tonight, that's good recognition by Victorino. I'm sure Davey Lopes reminded him of it, that, you know, we can run a little bit more. Not that Dickerson can't throw, but Bruce can really throw. So see, he laid back on that a little bit, and Victorino no problem going around second, steaming into third. And you know, that's just knowing the personnel. Tim, take a look, and you can see him hanging back a little bit. Bruce, on the other hand, would have come charging like a maniac after that ball, and he would have stopped him.
So the Phillies have a chance to get a first inning run here with one out in the bottom of the first. Ryan Howard the batter, and Ryan takes one for a strike on the outside corner. Ryan this season with 21 home runs, 7th best in the National League, 63 RBIs, which is 3rd best. He has 1 home run on this homestand. And the Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Mark Galazuski from Phoenixville, PA. If the Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game, then Mark can win $100. Introducing McCafe coffees at McDonald's, a new line of lattes, mochas, and cappuccinos. Ryan has 5 strikeouts against Owings in his career. And he lays off an off-speed pitch to run the count to 2-1.
Yeah, well, he's throwing him changeups. He threw him a breaking ball that he got over to start the count, and then 2 changeups, and Ryan Howard stayed off them. He's trying to get him to turn it over with a changeup and ground into a double play. They have the shortstop Yanish just to the left of the second base. They don't have them all on the same side. Another one. Good job by Ryan Howard to recognize what he's trying to do to him here and not go fishing.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Manny Ramirez has given the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. That game's in the top of the first inning up at Citi Field. 4, and the Phillies had the bases loaded. Second walk of the inning given up by Micah Owings.
Good at bat. Pete Rose had a lot of funny expressions when you were around him. And one of them was when a guy was throwing changeups like that, he'd go, the fish ain't biting. And in that case, Ryan Howard did a great job for the fish weren't biting.
Yeah, Charlie Manuel always talks about, I'm sure Dusty Baker thinks about this too, about allowing your teammates to pick you up and not to give away at bats.
That 93 team that the Phillies had were great at that. They had 3 guys with 100 walks, and they basically approached the game where you won't pitch to me. All right, fine. Go get the next guy.
Well, here is the next guy, Jason Worth. And Jason nearly hit by that pitch, and the count is 1-0. Jason tied up last night's ball game with a center field.
Well, it's a big time home run, this one, too. You know, when you go gap to gap like that with that kind of power, that's a serious power hitter.
Well, Jason now has 11 home runs since the 13th of June, which is tied with Albert Pujols for the major league lead. Everybody's talking about Shane Victorino going to the All-Star game, and you know, the way Jason has swung the bat lately, you know, he has swung himself right into the conversation if somebody gets injured and they need an extra player, because he's hit the ball pretty well. And he's ahead 2-1.
Well, you never know.
Carlos Beltran is not going to play in the All-Star game. Now, the likely choice is Matt Kemp to take his spot on the roster.
But you can take anybody you want, and of course Charlie has to talk to the league about it. But since he was voted in by the fans, they can pick any player. It doesn't have to be that position either.
Just missed that one. It's 2-2.
Man, did he have a pitch to hit there? Something slow too. Either a breaking ball or a changeup. Was not a fastball. Oh, look where that went to. It was supposed to be away, and it came right into the wheelhouse.
To it to the count, 2 Worth. In the air to right center field. Dickerson, or Taveras, excuse me, and Dickerson come in. Dickerson makes the grab, and Shane tagged at third and then stopped about a quarter of the way down the line. And they're 2 away.
Well, you don't want to let this get away. This is what they did the other night and wound up losing the ball game. See Shane Victory just so shallow. And with Dobbs coming up, a left-handed hitter, they don't want to take a chance here. As it turns out, the throw's offline. But to play that shallow, almost anybody can throw you out there, even if you run like Victorino.
So the bases loaded, 2 away here in the bottom of the first inning. Greg Dobbs, the hitter. Greg has hit in 6 consecutive games, hitting .478 during that time. He has raised his average to 284, and he's got a chance to give the Phillies the early lead here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, the other night they had the bases loaded, nobody out, didn't score. This is bases loaded, 1.
And it's 1 ball, no strikes.
And Greg trying to pick everybody up right now. Oh, he's had good numbers against the Reds.
Good numbers against the Reds. 1 career grand slam.
Playing him to pull, big gap in left center field.
Pulls it toward first base, and that's going to be an easy play for Votto. Owings is there to cover, and the Phils strand the bases loaded here in the bottom of the first inning. Couple walks and a base hit. Doesn't harm Micah Owings. We head to the second. No score. A scoreless ball game as we go to the top of the second inning. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 for the Cincinnati Reds in front of a sold-out crowd. Fireworks are scheduled for after tonight's ball game. Brought to you by the folks at Independence Blue Cross. The Phillies had some fireworks going in the bottom of the first. They had the bases loaded with 1 out but could not score. So now Jamie Moyer will work to Ramon Hernandez, Johnny Gomes, and Edwin Encarnacion for the Reds. See Hernandez's numbers overall. He's 2 for 9 in this series. He's got a lot of at-bats lifetime against Jamie Moyer. In fact, he's 5 for 39 against Jamie for his career. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, now the Dodgers keep on rolling along. They've scored 3 more against the Mets. They lead it 4-0 at the top of the first inning. Orlando Hudson, a 3-run double. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Remember who they were going to start? Oh, it's Hernandez.
Yeah, Ivan Hernandez.
Yeah. The Phillies roughed up last time, who've been pitching so well and having a tough first inning tonight.
There's a pop-up third base side. Ruiz will give it a look. Goes back into the seats. He's catched by a fan. Did a little Willie Mays grab.
Victorino shirt.
Of course, Jamie was over there as well, directing traffic, just there to see if he can help out in any way he could.
Yeah, he goes right to the spot. You know, this guy's 46 years old and he plays like he's 26. Look at the Reds over there. So what are you doing over here? Weren't you pitching tonight?
Johnny Gomes was sizing him up, looking at his stirrups and his sanitaries, which guys don't really wear stirrups and sanitaries anymore. And it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here they are. Liberty Bell on the side.
A lot of people don't know the Phillies socks have Liberty Bells on them. And you don't see them very often. Once in a while Jimmy Rollins will do that.
That's the style for most of the guys.
Yeah.
Ryan Howard's got that look. Just misses a little low.
It's that old pajama pants. And I know what he has them as baggy as Manning.
No, his are oversized. And Shane, he's got that look.
Well, he came right out in the first inning and tried to fire him up, but unfortunately they did what they did the other night, is get over anxious with men on base and not score runs. And you don't want that to come back and get you again.
Just misses ball 4, and Hernandez works out a leadoff walk here in the top of the second. Now the Chicago Cubs are headed to Philadelphia beginning Monday, July 20th at 7:05. It's a 3-game series. It wraps up on Wednesday the 22nd. It's a Citizens Bank Business Person Special and a Modell Sporting Goods Kids Run the Bases after the game. You can order your tickets now by logging on to Phillies.com. Nobody out. Runner on first here in the top of the second. And Johnny Gomes, the hitter. And Gomes loops one toward left. Dobbs coming on. He's got to play it on 1 hop. Well, that's the second hit of the night for Cincinnati. And Jamie's in a little bit of a bind here in the top of the second to start things off.
Yeah, Greg Dobbs, you could see he felt he couldn't get to that. He didn't want to get too close to it then and have it bounce away and have second and third. At least what he did there, if he couldn't get to it, was keep it in front of him and keep the double play in order.
Dusty Baker's moved Edwin Encarnacion up a spot in this lineup. He's hitting 7th.
Scott's not giving him that little bit off the plate right now, which is helpful for Jamie Moyer.
In the first inning, he was kind of giving him the black. There's a strike at the knees. I don't envision us having the same kind of game last night where there were 13 batters who were called out on strikes.
Very strange game
between the two teams. And it's 1-2.
Encarnacion is a double play threat too, because he tries to pull a lot, and that's what Jamie's trying to do, is He threw one pitch in, and then he goes away trying to get him to turn one over. I think they decide to go back out there again now. He came inside with a cutter.
Oh, boy. Well, the crew chief of this umpiring crew is Dal Scott, and he didn't like that pitch. It looked pretty good. Maybe a little inside.
He wants that, you know, but it was inside.
To center field, Victorino on the run with his back to the infield, back to the track, and he's not going to get this one. It's off the wall, and it scoots right by him. The Reds are going to get at least two. Encarnacion's going to pull it to third. It's a 2-run triple, and they lead it 2-0.
Big momentum swing right out of the chute here in the first inning. Phillies don't score, and the Reds come right out and get two with a good chance for more. He ran a 3-2 count on Encarnacion and just got too much of the plate. Encarnacion is a struggling hitter too, but you know, you're 3-2, and that pitch was down on the plate a little bit, and it really jumped. Victorino, you see, gets too close to it, and it bounces away from him.
Yeah, that ball went a little farther than even I thought it was going to go.
Looks like the wind's blowing pretty good right now towards left and left center. It's been the other way the first few games.
They'll bring Paul Janisch to the plate, the number 8 batter, and he takes a strike.
And you have to remember, in the 9-hole tonight, you got a big-time guy with a bat. It's not like you have a break with a pitcher. And Janisch is the guy who pitched here the other night.
Yeah, he's 0 for 1 in this series. He pitched the bottom of the 8th inning in that 22-run ball game for the Phillies, and he hits one skyward, left side. Jimmy calls everybody off, and there's the first out.
There's a wind, as we mentioned, blowing out towards left tonight, left and left center. The other games in this series, it's been blowing the opposite direction towards right and right center. So that thing really took off.
Well, here's Micah Owings, who in 2007 won the Silver Slugger Award as the best hitting pitcher in the National League. And you see his numbers. I mean, those aren't numbers that are reserved for a pitcher. He has 8 career home runs, 3 this year.
He's a 304 lifetime hitter.
Phillies played the infield halfway. Let's see if Jamie can fool him a little bit and get him a little jumpy. And he leads all active pitchers with much fewer at bats than Jason Marquis and Randy Wolf.
Well, this is the guy we talk about. He was a high school legend, hit 69 home runs in high school. Granted, he played in Georgia, and they're going to play a lot of games down there. But still, that's remarkable.
He followed that up with 33 home runs in college between Georgia Tech and Tulane. And that's his senior year at Gainesville High School in Georgia.
That's north of Atlanta, about 30 miles north of Atlanta, Gainesville, Georgia.
He hit 25 home runs.
Yeah. Ooh.
And it's 2-1.
He figured he was going to get a strike there. And he was back-legging.
Dusty Baker, just as Bob Melvin, the Diamondbacks' old manager, when Owings pitched for them, he uses him as a pinch hitter. In fact, he has 2 pinch hit home runs in the last 2 years. One this season for Dusty Baker, one last year. And he lines one to left field. Dobbs coming in. He's under it. Makes the grab. Encarnacion tagging from third. Here's the throw to the plate on one hop. Not in time. And Encarnacion scores. It's a sac fly for Owings. And the Reds lead it 3-0.
Well, they had confidence Owings was going to be able to get that run in, and he did. He got the ball in the air. Sacrifice fly. So the triple, as the ball got away out in center field, it turned a double into a triple. Turns into a run here. As Encarnacion scores pretty easily.
Dobbs did all he could to make that grab and make a clean throw. 9th RBI of the year for Owings. And here's the top of the order, Willie Taveras. He popped to second his first time up. And they're going to appeal to third, and Dale Scott, the home plate umpire, signals safe.
That's because the third base umpire, Culpa, evidently went out into the outfield to make sure there's no trap or anything in that place. So the home plate umpire has to watch. Here it is. Yep, no problem. Can't hurt to appeal, though.
What has made Jamie Moyer so effective over the last 3 outings is that he has had, according to Rich Doobie, pinpoint control with all of his pitches. And Jamie even said the other day that he doesn't know what went wrong during his stretch earlier this year where he really struggled.
Well, in this inning, he walked the leadoff batter and then went 3-2 on Encarnacion, and that's why he's gotten hurt.
Walked only 1 in his last outing against the Mets when he went 6 1/3 on this homestand. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's the first time he's called that pitch a strike tonight. And you saw Taveras' reaction like, I didn't think that was going to be a strike.
A looper down the right field line. Nice play by Debbie Fisher, the Phillies ball girl down there. And 2-2. There's Dale Scott, the home plate umpire. He's the crew chief. Jerry Meals over at first. Mike DeMuro's at second. Ron Culpa's over at third. And with this 4-game series, we have seen all 4 now behind the plate. Towering pop up on the infield. Jimmy Rollins calls everybody off. And he follows it and makes the grab, and the inning is over. But the Reds do score 3 runs. The 2-run triple by Edwin Encarnacion. Now that's the big blow as we go to the bottom of the second. It's 3-0 Cincinnati. Find out how these NFL hopefuls will help the Eagles reach their Super Bowl potential. Don't miss the 5-night series New to the Nest starting Sunday night on Sports Night at 6:30 and 10 only on Comcast Sportsnet. Oh, the Phillies down 3-0. Pedro Feliz leads it off here in the bottom of the second. It'll be the bottom third of the order for the Phillies against right-hander Micah Owings. See Pedro's numbers: a .290 average, 5 homers and 40 RBIs. He is 2 for 8 in the series, hitting .318 on this homestand, and that average is going to drop with that strikeout. He went fishing on a high fastball, and the count is where the out total is 1 here in the second.
Pedro just chasing an 86 fastball way out of the strike zone. just one of those giveaway at bats.
Carlos Ruiz hitting .236 this year with 3 home runs. And he hits the first pitch to straightaway center field. Tavares on the run, reaches up, and he makes the grab. Wasn't sure if that one was going to glide over his head and carry the way Encarnacion's ball carried. And that's the second out.
Here it is. He had it all the way. You see, he really didn't run to a spot because it was hit low, and he had to watch it the whole time. And Mike Owings says, thank you.
2 away for Jamie, who's hitting under 100 for the year. He is 1 for 20. And he's ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Jamie with 349 at-bats for his career. And he pulls one to the right side. He doesn't often pull the ball. And he's going to be retired, and the Phillies go down in order 1, 2, 3 here in the home second. So we play 2, and the Reds on top 3-0. The Phillies first base coach has been nice enough to join us as we get set for this top of the third. And well, Davey, it looked like the Phillies had a pretty good scoring opportunity there. That bottom of the first inning, just couldn't get a run across that plate.
Yeah, we got to capitalize on those type of things. We haven't done a very good job all season of doing that. But I really felt that Vic should have challenged him. I know I would have. I definitely would have challenged the outfielder on that particular pop-up.
Hey, you just brought up Victorino. You got a little piece of his action from way back when he was with other organizations. Right. Davey, you proud of what happened here today?
Oh, he's come a long way. He's deserving of an all-star berth. And also, we got a guy in right field that should get a lot of plugs for making the all-star team also.
Yeah, we were talking about that last night, how Jason Worth has really hit himself. And let's face it, I mean, defensively, too. He's played himself into being not only an everyday player, but like you said, an all-star caliber player.
You know, if I was the manager, of course I'm not, but I would pick him, to be honest with you, because his numbers matches up with just about anybody else that's out there that hopes to make the all-star team. And you said it, he's one of the best defensive outfielders in the game.
Hey, the way you like guys to run, is he one of those guys you feel comfortable with can steal a bag for you?
Well, he's good. Jason, I believe I said it earlier in the year. I don't want to put any pressure on him. I never told him this, but I really feel he's capable of 30-30. And he has that kind of ability. He's long-legged, but he covers a lot of ground when he gets going. He's just got to get a little more aggressive on the base pass to get to that 30 plateau.
Roller toward Ryan Howard. He's got it, and he'll race to the bag, and he wins that race. One out here in the top of the third inning. Well, Davey, you're going to get a chance to see this All-Star game, and I know you've been to them before, and Ryan's going to get a chance to go back to St. Louis. What do you think that scene's going to be like?
I don't know if we're going to be able to get enough tickets.
Yeah, he's going to be asking all you guys, can I use yours? Can I use yours?
You can have mine. You know, I won't be using them. Yeah.
You going to watch that home run derby that he's in?
No, I've seen all this kind of stuff. You know, I'd like to have the days off, to be honest with you, but it'll be exciting once the game gets started.
What was it like playing in those?
Well, it's a dream come true. And to be honest with you, after you played in one, if you're not a starter, you're kind of like, okay. You know, I guess you got to be a little greedy in that you want to be a guy that's out there 3, 4, 5 innings. You know, not a guy just shows up and hope that you get an opportunity to play during the course of the game. Joey
Votto's the batter with 1 out here in the top of the third. The 0-1 pitch to him. Hit in the air, foul off to the left and out of play.
Hey, Davey, when Victorino was on first, you got Dickerson in right field instead of Bruce tonight.
Yeah.
Does that make a difference?
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys talk about that?
Well, he should have known that. I mean, he knows who the lineups are. He knows what guys have the greatest arms out there. Bruce has a very strong arm, as good as anybody in right field in the National League. And what I wanted him to do is to challenge Dickerson, only because he was going to his right. He's left-handed. And I just felt as though he wasn't capable of making the kind of throw that would have thrown Dick out.
He might have changed the complexion of that inning too, just to kind of put some pressure on them as well.
Well, I'm a firm believer in that. I mean, you can't rely on the guy behind you getting a hit. The percentages with 2 outs of guys getting hits, not very good in this game.
Well, there's a nice play by Ryan Howard, and they're 2 away. And here's Shane going first to third. Now this was good base running.
Absolutely.
On this base hit by Utley.
Yes, it was.
You know, he peeked over his shoulder, realized who was in right, and was able to get the third.
Davey, the good base runners always take a look out there and see where the outfielders are before the pitch.
That's what they should be doing. They should just scan the outfield, see where they're playing, so once the ball's hit, they don't really have to watch it and see it actually fall to hit the ground. If they're playing a guy dead pull to left field and the guy hits the ball to right field, he shouldn't have to hesitate at all.
Well, David, we appreciate it. It's been nice to see these guys running a little bit these last couple of days, too, but we appreciate you coming on.
Okay, thank you very much, Tom.
All right, Davey Lopes, our guest, as Brandon Phillips sends one in the air to right field. Jason Worth on the run, and he makes the grab, and that's a nice bounce-back inning for Jamie Moyer. 1, 2, 3 go the Reds here at the top of the third. Jamie's retired 6 straight. The top of the order is due up as we go to the home third. Trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fan forums section for all the information. And please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, who was the first pitcher ever to throw a no-hitter against the Reds? The answer will be revealed.
How long they've been in
the 7th inning. They are the oldest franchise in the National League.
I mean,
you don't have that off the top of your head?
Of course not. I mean, the oldest franchise, the first pitcher to throw a no-hitter against them.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll see if he can come up with something.
Maybe it was one of those ones back in 18-something.
Could be. Jimmy Rollins leads it off here at the bottom of the third.
Can't wait for that answer, Tom.
Well, just so you know, it's not one of the two former Reds pitchers who are in the ballpark tonight broadcasting their games.
No, I know they didn't throw no hitters.
Jeff Brantley and Chris Welch. Jimmy popped out to third his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. Phillies trail at 3-0, and this Phillies offense during this homestand has really torn the cover off the ball. They're hitting .312 as a team with 10 home runs, and they're averaging close to 7 runs per game. And that, coupled with some great pitching, is why they're 5-1 in the last 6 games here.
Well, they have to shake off that second inning too. The first inning where they failed to score when they should have, and then boom, got hit with a 3 spot. Still early, and Micah Owings is a guy you should be able to do some damage against.
Well, here are the numbers on this homestand for the Phillies. .312 batting average, as we mentioned, 10 homers, and the ERA 1.67. And Jimmy hits it to the backhand of Votto, and 1 out. Phillies baseball is brought to you by AT&T. Your world delivered. By Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Philadelphia Phillies. 1 out here in the home third. Shane Victorino, the batter, walked his first time up and was stranded on third base. People have asked about Shane and whether he deserves to be in the All-Star game. You look at some of his numbers. He's second in the league in runs scored as he hits that one sharply to Brandon Phillips, and there are 2 away. Second in the league to Albert Pujols in runs scored. He's second in base hits to Miguel Tejada from the Houston Astros with 103. I mean, he's got some pretty good categories that he's a part of.
Well, this was not a mercy booking, by a lot of hometown votes for him. Obviously, the Phillies fans did a great job, but he is deserving of it. His numbers deserve to be on the All-Star team, and it was a great job.
So the Phillies have at least 4 now that will be in Philadelphia, plus that coaching staff. And here's Chase Utley. Chase singled his first time up.
Hot dog wrapper about ready to blow. Nope, didn't quite make it, so he didn't call time.
It's right on the line too, so it's not as distracting, although Dale Scott's going to go pick it up. There's the fanatic who's lurking behind. Got some young fans who are following.
Nothing like having him behind you. It's a lot of laughs.
See him stretching out before the ball game today?
Yeah.
He was stretching with the Reds players down the left field line. And Willie Tavares came over and was helping him stretch his hamstrings out.
Those are some serious hammies.
3-1 the count to Chase Utley. Chase sends it in the air to center field. Tavares is back toward the warning track, toward the wall, and it's off the wall, and it shoots along the warning track. Utley's around second, heading toward third. This may be an easy inside the park home run. Rounding third, heading for home, and he's going to score standing up. An inside the park home run for Chase Utley. It's his 20th home run of the year, and he's going to need a breather.
Well, we're just talking about they needed something to get this crowd back into the game because what had happened took them right out of it. And what's more exciting than an inside the park home run? And we thought we'd see more of them in this park with all the crazy angles out there in center field. There really haven't been that many.
Well, once that ball got past Tavares and it was speeding along the warning track, you knew he had a chance. And he's still catching his breath in that dugout.
Oh, yeah, he was going to circle. That was one of the easiest inside the park home runs you'll ever see. That was a no doubt about it. That's like calling a Ryan Howard homer off the bat.
And Mark Galazuski of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, you just won $100 the untraditional way in the McDonald's home run jackpot. And Howard lines one to the gap in right center field, and that splits the gap, and that shoots away. But Dickerson does a nice job tracking it down. And Ryan's in scoring position.
Well, here's a look at it. And Tavares got too close to it. It's kind of like what happened to Shane in the second inning. See, he gets real close to it. Now it hits right off the 4 on 409. And look at that carry. And the right fielder Dickerson takes, I mean, he comes after it, but he takes a long time to get there. And then Brandon Phillips just threw it in the dugout like you want it for a souvenir.
Now there's Chase flying around third. It's his second career inside the park home run. And his first one came against the Cincinnati Reds. And that was out at Great American Ballpark.
And the last one was by Jason Worth in Colorado.
Yep.
Last year in April.
Oh, Jason up there now, down to the count, no balls and 1 strike. He's still catching his breath.
Well, he was running so hard. They were lucky nobody slow was in front of him. Jason Worth just kind of turned it back a notch right now, because we mentioned, you know, Micah Owings is one of those guys you can hit him. You can handle it. If you're not up there, you're looking for too much.
Jason just trying to fight that one off to stay alive. Jason has hit, or excuse me, has reached base safely in 15 consecutive games. That's how productive he's been, particularly on this homestand, to raise his batting average to 264. He is 9th in the league in homers, and he has 52 RBIs, and he's got another duck on the pond there with Ryan Howard at second base. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Wheels, how about the 20th home run for Chase? And he is now the 3rd player with at least 20 home runs or more for the Phillies before the All-Star break. And that matches the mark that they had last year. And if Jason Worth can get a home run, it would be a new mark. A new mark of the most players in the Phillies roster with 20 home runs or more before the All-Star break. That's the kind of production that this lineup puts together.
Yeah, they can score runs. There's no doubt about it. And what they need to do, and they know it better than anybody, is get better at situation hitting, because those are the games that you know, they get you into postseason play.
Line drive, base hit toward left center field. Howard's around third. He's going to score. Worth is flying towards second, and he'll pull up there with an RBI double. It's a 1-run game.
Good job, too. Extra base hits with 2 outs. Nobody on base. And that's the point we're trying to make. You know, as Dick Paul comes to the mound, Owens is one of those guys, if you just stay back a little bit and relax, you can get some hits. And that was a really good swing that he had there. He was jumpy first time up, jumpy early in the count, and Jason just leveled off there and whacked that thing in the left center field. 2-out RBI.
53 RBIs now on the year for Jason Worth as Ryan scores. And Dusty Baker, who was not too happy with the way his team played last night, sent his pitching coach Dick Paul out to the mound to try to settle down his 26-year-old right-hander. And here's Greg Dobbs, 0 for 1. He grounded to first his first time up. 3 for 10 in this series, making his 10th start in left field. Now there's a pretty good chance that this 10th start for Dobbs may be his last before the All-Star break, because Raul Ibanez is playing tonight for Lehigh Valley. He could be activated tomorrow. They might even wait till Saturday, but he could be activated tomorrow.
Yeah, you would think they'd wait till Saturday because there's a left-hander pitching tomorrow night, Mahalo, and then you get 2 right-handers. So I mean, I don't know this, but in my opinion, that would, 2 left-handers, but you have a left-hander tomorrow night, and then you have right-handers Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday would be the day to do it.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Cardinals, who lead the Central now by 2, defeated the Brewers 5-1 earlier today. How about Joel Pinheiro? Complete game, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts. And it's 3-1 to Dobbs. Pedro Feliz waiting on deck. Pretty good hitters count now for Greg Dobbs.
Right. As you said, Tom, a hitters count, which means you don't have to jump at something here if he throws you a 3-1 changeup.
And he pulls it right past Davey Lopes. He was a little jumpy on that one.
And he did throw him a 3-1 changeup. And the reason you think he would get one is because he threw one before then. You have a right-handed hitter on deck with 2 outs. So you really don't have to challenge. You have a base open here, and you don't have to challenge Dobbs.
By the way, Ibanez tonight is 1 for 2 with a double and 2 RBIs for the Iron Pigs. They're playing at home against the Yankees AAA affiliate.
And that game was supposed to be in Scranton tonight, but they moved it for some reason.
They had some drainage problems.
Is that what it was?
I assume that they've gotten rid of the turf in Scranton.
Oh, yeah.
So that may have been something that the Yankees wanted when they moved there. See what Greg has done here in the month of July. One of the reasons why the Phillies have done such a good job on this homestand. He's hit the ball well. And he hits it in the air to center field. It's not deep. It's sliced it toward left center. And Tavares camps out, makes the grab, and the inning is over. Phillies, though, do get 2 back. Get your stopwatches ready, folks. This was the first one, an inside the park home run for Chase Utley. His 2nd career inside the park home run. Oddly enough, ironically enough, his first one came against the Reds. This one, though, a whole lot easier as he comes in without a throw. and you can't follow your Phillies on Comcast Sportsnet, you can follow the action on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB.com at Bat 2009. Visit Phillies.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase today. Top of the fourth inning. It's a 3-2 ball game. Phil's got a couple of runs back, much to the delight of the sold-out crowd. Hanging on for a victory tonight, and also some fireworks afterward. As Sarge joins us, we move to the top of the fourth inning. A little late 4th of July celebration for you, Sarge, tonight.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Here's Ramon Hernandez.
Just wondering what Dickerson, the right fielder, was doing on that inside the park home run by Chase Utley. Every time a ball is hitting the outfield, an outfielder has some place to go. If he's trailing that play and busting over the center field, Utley gets a triple off of that.
As it turned out, the ball met him in the gap in right center field. Hernandez to shortstop. Jimmy got his bearings and one away. And Jamie, I think Jamie's talking to himself about that pitch that he just threw to Ramon Hernandez.
Oh boy, well, he has a lot of fun when he's pitching. Plays the game the way it should be, and that's hard. Watch, he's going to get ready and start to look down at his fingers. Oh, okay, well, this is the way it should be. He likes to talk to himself. It's okay. And let's see, starts to answer himself.
Well, I think he answered himself too while he was out there. It looked like he said yes. He works ahead 0-1 to Johnny Gomes. Jamie comes into tonight's ball game with 253 career wins. Now that ties him for 42nd place all time with Carl Hubble.
Unbelievable.
And Jamie doesn't get caught up in too many numbers. You know, every time you ask him about winning 250, passing Bob Gibson, you know, he makes a funny comment about that. But the fact that he was tied with Carl Hubble, that made him feel pretty good, because Hubble used to be one of his instructors when he was with the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
And Hubble was a good one.
Threw more of a screwball.
Yep.
Carl Hubble did.
Do you know him at all?
Of course I did. With the Giants, he was always around on a daily basis. Never could straighten out his arm. And always he walked with a little crook in his arm because of all the screwballs.
That's amazing. 2-2 the count to Gomes. Did he offer? Yes, he did. And Carlos Ruiz is going to finish off that strikeout. And that strikeout for Jamie Moyer is career strikeout number 2,300. And with that, it's time to take a look at our Firestone leaders. Most major league wins since the year 2000, and Jamie is third behind Randy Johnson and Andy Pettit. Firestone, a tradition of innovation. He's tied with Tim Hudson. And here's Edwin Encarnacion, who had a 2-run triple his first time up.
Jamie's gone to some curveballs. Was throwing changeups, fastballs, and later on, that's what he does around the third, fourth inning. Starts to throw that hook. Doesn't like to bring it out early simply because he doesn't want hitters thinking about it. Usually when he throws it, it's a surprise. That's what he got Gomes on, breaking ball, and struck him out on that.
You know, you mentioned that screwball from Carl Hubble. I was doing some research on him today, and I had forgotten that back in the 1934 All-Star game, I'm not sure if he ever talked to you about this.
Yeah.
But he struck out Ruth, Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, and Joe Cronin all in a row. Ryan Howard a long run and makes the slide, but can't get there. And the count remains 0-2. I mean, think about that.
Oh yeah, and when he was talking about that, he was acting as if it was no big deal, but because he did have good breaking ball, as Howard goes and slides feet first. No chance to catch the ball, however. Boy, when you strike out those kind of hitters, I mean, that's something that you never, ever forget. And in an all-star game, to boot.
Encarnacion stays alive. Well, the other guy that Jamie is tied with, and he's not recognized by Major League Baseball because his victories took place before the 1900s, is Al Spalding. Al Spalding won 253 games, pitched for only 8 years. And it's 2-2, and you know the name might sound familiar because it is the same Spalding that began the athletic company that led the production of basketballs, the official rule book, and things like that.
A lot of victories in 8 years.
It's a lot of wins. Must have been a different game back then, Sarge.
It's got to be in different ways that they kept up with the winning. I mean, come on.
In the air to left field, Dobbs heading back to the warning track to the wall, and that one is gone. Man, I can't believe it carried out of here. That ball looked like it was toward the end of the bat, and Encarnacion drives in his 3rd run of the night.
Yeah, 3rd run of the night, 2nd home run of the year. He's been hurt a good part. It gives you an indication, however, when it starts to get a little bit warm out, balls have a tendency to travel a little bit further. Now, this is a changeup that he actually throws. That ball goes away. He catches it right on the end. He thinks he's got it.
I thought it was going to stay in the yard, honestly.
Yeah, he didn't get it out by very much, but plenty for a home run here at Citizens Bank.
4 rows back, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Paul Janish. So Encarnacion has 3 RBIs tonight. And Janish down in the count 1-2.
You can see exactly where he's hitting that ball on the bat, and it is really toward the end a little bit, but these guys are so strong, balls are so hard that they're able to travel like that. They're not blowing out hard. Just a little light breeze.
Oh, and Encarnacion's got the triple and the home run, and the last cycle for the Reds came way back in 1989. Herb Davis against the Padres. Janish, a chopper toward deep short. And I think that Feliz may have shielded Jimmy Rollins from making that play. And Janish is aboard. And they're going to score that an error to Pedro Feliz.
I'm sure Pedro's saying my fault. We can watch how this ball is hit. Top spin on it as it comes right in, and it actually kind of gave him, if you will, a little bit of a fake because that ball came in. Feliz trying to grab it with that glove. It just clearly missed it as it goes off of J-Row.
So I'll bring Mike Owings to the plate. He had a sac fly his only time up, an RBI. And Jamie now will keep an eye on Janish over at first base. Slow chopper to third, should be an easy play. Pedro goes the short way to second, and the inning is over. But the Reds do get another run on a solo home run by that guy, Edwin Encarnacion. We've played 3.5. It's a 2-run lead. Hybrid, the most fuel-efficient midsize. Drive one today. By Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEFF-NOW. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly. Last of the fourth inning. On a comfortable night for baseball here in Philadelphia. The Phillies trail at 4-2. Jamie Moyer has allowed a home run. A 2-run triple to Edwin Encarnacion. And now his offense will try to get some runs back again. It'll be the bottom third due up against Micah Owings. It'll be Pedro Feliz, Carlos Ruiz, and Jamie. And some of the young fighting fans putting a little creativity together coming into this ball game. Score a home run, the fans will have fun.
It's awesome.
Ain't that the truth?
Yep.
Pedro struck out his only time up, so he's 0 for 1. Pulls that one toward third. Encarnacion records the first out. So 1 away here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Well, Sarge, it's interesting watching Owings throw the ball. I mean, he's 6'5". He's 220 pounds. He's a big guy, and you expect a big guy like that to throw, low to mid 90s. And we were talking about this before. It's almost as if he short arms the ball to the plate.
Well, he is a big guy, and he throws those sinkers and then cutters, and there's a slider right there. But in his high school days, this guy was a better hitter. I mean, almost than a pitcher, although he had great numbers as a pitcher. This guy pinch hits, has more RBIs than any pitcher in the National League at 9.
What is it, though, about his motion, if it is deceptive at all, that would bug a hitter?
You know what? I got to tell you, I don't see him being able to bug you that much, simply because he doesn't throw that hard. He does come from the side a little bit.
Giannis makes a diving stop, gets control, and Ruiz is safe, hustling all the way. Votto doesn't think so. And that's an infield single for Carlos Ruiz, and boy, he needs that. Here comes Dusty Baker.
Now, the only way that he knows that it's a close play by the action there. Votto had ball hit up the middle. Ball hit pretty good as Giannis stood down sliding, gets up and throws the ball, and he's out. From that angle there, let's check it out again. And you can see the glove in his hand. Not on the bag yet.
He was out by about a half a step, and Dusty's not going to win that argument, fortunately for the Phils. So they'll head back to the dugout.
Well, I had a pretty good case on that.
Well, now you can proudly display the Phillies' 2008 World Championship with 2 sure-to-be conversation starters. The replica ring paperweight and a core or acrylic tube. Or cube, I should say. That's a cube, Sarge, not a tube.
Yep.
Great for displaying at home or in the office. Both items are made using lead-free pewter. Available exclusively through the Phillies. Order at the Majestic Clubhouse store at Citizens Bank Park or call 877-GO-PHILS. And Jamie Moyer showing bunt, takes the pitch high. It's 1-0.
You order any of those?
I have not as of yet, but I like the paperweights. I think it's a pretty good gift. 2-0 the count.
All your friends know what they're going to be getting for Christmas then.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, that's a little too pricey for my friends.
For mine, too.
Gift cards, Sarge. That's what they get now, gift cards. Yeah. 3 balls, no strikes, the count to Jamie Moyer.
You see them both charging. Bottles charging hard. You almost got to lay down a perfect bunt. Encarnacion coming in hard.
Jamie was taken all the way, and it's 3-1. He showed bunt, but he was, more or less just trying to to deke the fielders and kind of throw off Owings. I think he was taking on that 3-0 pitch the whole time.
If he sees them charging too hard in their end, he has the option to slug bunt and bring that bat back and lay it down or hit the ball on the ground.
Jamie bunts it toward third. Encarnacion thought about second. And a nice play by Phillips to scoop that one up on a lazy throw, and the sacrifice is successful. 5-4 on the putout, 2 outs. And back to the top of the order with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, very good bunt by Jamie Moyer. Nice executing. As you can see, he deadens that ball there. Encarnacion coming in, thinking about it, seeing where that runner is there in your screen, but too much of a chance and almost threw that ball away. But then Phillips has good hands at second base covering first.
There was a great shot of Ramon Hernandez, the catcher, with his mask in his right hand pointing over to the first base bag, just to let you know about who was directing the traffic there. Telling Encarnacion to throw over to first. J-Roll is 0 for 2. He's popped out and he's grounded out to first. Now he's got a chance to drive in a run here in the bottom of the fourth. And he lines one to right field, a base hit. Ruiz around third. He's being held there. The throw is cut off by Votto, who nearly threw behind Jimmy. And the Phillies now with runners on first and third. Now, even though it's not Jay Bruce in right field, Sam Perlazzo decided to play it safe and hold Ruiz up at third.
I would have taken a good throw to get him. Well, Sam doesn't take a lot of chances, man. That fielder gets the ball. You can see Dickerson coming in. He gets off that low throw. Ball was actually coming in off the line. Ruiz coming in, putting on the brakes there. Sam Palazzo actually holding him, third base coach.
And leaves it for Victorino with 2 runners on. A little fake to third, look over to first. Phillies now with 6 base hits. There's Ruiz over at third base. Hey, Jimmy at first.
J-Roll hitting that ball so hard to right field, getting to Dickerson quick. Ruiz not able to score. Usually able to score on a base hit to right field with no problem.
Well, I think we've seen 2 throws now by Dickerson in this ball game, and neither of the 2 have been online, so maybe Sam files that away for later on in this ball game.
When you look at it after, and it's easy to see that he would have been able to score because the throw was off. But you don't know that when that ball coming in, and when it's low, that's the cue then for Sam, third base coach, to stop that runner.
Jimmy goes. Shane shows bunt. The throw to second is not in time. And J-Roll with another stolen base. That's his 13th of the year. And the Phillies now with 2 runners at scoring position.
Well, they must have a sign when he's actually gone, because you can see how Victorino kind of protecting Jimmy, if you will, with the back showing bunt late. He slides in, little stand-up, pop-up slide.
A line drive off the glove of Phillips, and it shoots into center field. And the Phillies are going to tie the ball game up. Shane Victorino coming through again. It's a 4-4 game.
It's starting to be a habit with Shane Victorino with men in scoring position. Brandon Phillips, second baseman, looking around like, what is going on? Normally, a Gold Glover catches that ball. This ball is just smoke. Line drive goes right off of his glove, the side of his glove, almost like he couldn't get it open. Once that happens, it's too late. 2 RBIs are going to go on and score. Owens looking back at Brandon Phillips and
he's got to
showing
catch that
some
ball.
displeasure. Absolutely.
Well, they've scored a base hit for Shane Victorino, 2 RBIs. And here's Chase. You know, Phillips, when you said he was looking around, he was looking up at the board to see if they were going to charge an error on that one. And they charged the base hit, or they gave Victorino a base hit, 2 RBIs.
Just didn't open his glove. And again, when you're out in that field, whether or not it's the infield or the outfield, you have to anticipate the ball coming to you.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Chase.
I think Brandon thought that ball was going to hit the dirt. He actually got down. He didn't really have to do that. Ball does not usually hit the back of your glove, and that's exactly what he did.
Chase now in the hole. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, this is Chase's first inside the park home run against the Cincinnati Reds. Ryan Friel kicks it along the warning track, and there was nobody there to help back it up. And Chase came sliding in. The ball eluded Jason LaRue. And tonight, he hit his second inside the park home run.
Looked like he was going to take him out there.
Did that surprise you?
No, not at all. And with 2 strikes, Victorino should be on his horse. Again, if he's thrown out, Chase gets a new count. If he's successful, it puts a little bit more pressure on Owens.
Shane had 2 stolen bases in last night's ball game.
Hernandez sitting up kind of outside, and when catchers do that, more than likely they're going to be that fastball, so they're already in good position to try and throw that ball to second base.
Pitch out. Good tag by Votto. And 2 balls and 2 strikes to count.
I've seen Dusty Baker actually call 2 pitch outs in a row.
He wouldn't do that here, though.
Well, never can tell. But Shane Victorino, though, should be thinking about trying to get over to second base. Davey Lowe, first base coach, has already given them the time on Owens coming to the plate.
Shane goes, pitches bounce toward the middle. Owings has got it. And he fires to first, and the inning is over. The Phillies, though, tie it up. A 2-run single off the glove of Brandon Phillips. It's a 4-4 game as we go to the 5th. Top of the 5th inning, Phillies and the Reds all even at 4, and this is what happened as the two Reds go into the dugout. Mike Owings to the left, Brandon Phillips to the right. Owings throwing his glove, not happy about those 2 runs scoring to tie this ball game up, and not happy about the fact that Phillips was somewhat blasé as that ball was hit toward him and hit off the glove and shot it to center field, and Shane was credited with a 2-run base hit. And Owings, just by his reaction on the mound, thought that ball should have been caught.
Well, I think it really should have been caught. It was a ball that was a hard hit ball.
Humpback fly ball over to Chase Utley, 1 away.
Well, it certainly wasn't a ball that was knuckling or got into the lights at all on him. He just booted it. But there's that play again, and you see there, it was just, he just did not go at the ball the way that you should have. Now, that's the problem with Owens. I'm sure he doesn't like anyone laughing at that situation. If you show some remorse and you're giving 100%, nobody will care about that. Everybody makes errors, but you don't want to be going in the dugout, for me, and joking around when a pitcher's giving his all on the mound.
Here's Dickerson, and Jamie works ahead 0-1. Well, he's had 2 plays in this series. I mean, this is the reigning Gold Glover over at second base. 2 plays in this series that were not ruled errors, that were balls he should have come up with. Ryan Howard diving, that's a foul ball.
Well, you do that with some of the wrong pitchers, they're going to pin you up against the wall, and one being Carlos Zambrano. He comes in there and laughs like that. I can guarantee you there's going to be some problems. You know, you might really, for me, you make an error like that, I'd go tell the pitcher, hey, man, my fault.
My bad, yeah.
You know, I'll make it up for you. Well, what it does is make that pitcher feel a lot better that you are giving 100% instead of acting more, for me, in a selfish way.
Dickerson is flied to left. He's grounded to first base. And Jamie didn't like that last baseball, so he's going to get another one. He may not like this one either. Nope. He'll throw it back. Scott gives another one.
It's all on the feel of the ball, and that's the reason he will throw it back if it doesn't feel the way that he thinks it should. Reds really high on this Chris Dickerson. He's shown that he has good speed, has a good arm, although it hasn't been really accurate, but he showed a good arm and has some big size to him.
Well, Jamie thought he had that pitch there, and instead it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. But Dusty Baker was saying after the ball game last night, I mean, people were asking him whether Dickerson was going to start platooning with Willie Taveras at center field, and he said not yet. That wasn't his plan. But this kid's a pretty good ball player. Now, we've seen Brandon Phillips make 2 kind of misplays in this series, Sarge, and the last one, well, that's excruciating for a pitcher, and he was laughing a little bit. What does Dusty do in a case like that? I mean, you know him pretty well.
It is pretty difficult because he's one of your stars, and you'd like for them to be able to lead by example. It just has not happened, but there's not a whole lot that you can do. You can't bench him and then hurt the team and hurt yourself, but you will talk with him and tell him, hey, man, you got to be a little bit more serious when you're out there. You end up costing us 2 runs, and normally you should be able to catch that ball. This guy's a Gold Glover.
I was looking down at the field while you were talking there. Not that I wasn't listening to you, but Chris Dickerson was going up the first base line, but the count was only 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Only you would catch that, Tom.
Well, right? Dale Scott, the whole plate umpire, caught it too.
Well, they should actually know the signs, but again, these are young kids, and I think as the season goes on, depending on how Taveras does, he will go on and start to platoon him because he wants him to get a little bit more experience, not only in center field, but also at the plate.
Well, Dickerson has been pretty good for Dusty Baker of late, hitting nearly .370 in his last 20 games. And he pops that one up foul over the dugout, and he stays alive.
No, he's not doing a lot of bailing that I see. Looks pretty strong. But again, Jamie doesn't throw as hard, so he's not tested the way he would be on, say, maybe a Cole Hamels pitching.
Well, he gets a base hit here as he just serves that one right into left field. So Dickerson's aboard with a 1-out single. Yeah, that is the 6th base hit of the night for the Reds. Now the Colorado Rockies are coming to Philadelphia beginning Tuesday, August 4th. That's a 3-game series, 2 night games, and then on the final day, it's a 105 Citizens Bank Business Person Special, but it's also a Citizens Bank Raul Ibanez Pride of the Phillies print given out to all fans. And after the game at Modell Sporting Goods, kids run the bases. Those Rockies are 25-7 since the 4th of June, and still not really making up much ground in the National League West because the Dodgers are so good. The Rockies are 8 games back, and they're in 3rd place in the West.
Yeah, Dodgers getting good pitching. However, I got to tell you, those San Francisco Giants are getting some pretty good pitching. Well, obviously thinking that the Los Angeles Dodgers will win the Western Division.
Well, there's the standings. Arizona 17.5 back. San Diego 18 back. They're out of the race, it seems. But the Giants and the Rockies are in the race for the wild card. On the inside corner, 1-2 the count to Votto.
Well, so far, every move for Dickerson at first base, he's actually been going back, not able to read Jamie Moyer on the mound. A lot of times, even younger kids will ask, well, what do you look for when a left-handed pitcher is up on the mound? Well, what you're looking for is that upper body, the upper half on him, because he's got to turn a little bit. His foot, if you keep looking at that, it could deceive you. So when he twists his upper half, it's a little bit easier to actually be able to see his move.
So that twist, which is his, I guess in Jamie's case, his right arm going over toward first, is the indication he's coming over.
Exactly. I mean, you're able to see that. The good base stealers, Ricky Henderson, talked about looking at the upper half as opposed to the legs. That leg can give you all kind of different deception.
So if there's no twist with that upper half, then he's coming to the plate.
Right. So because you have to be able to turn to throw that ball over to first base. You just can't just throw it over unless you step off. You can check him out when he's throwing. You see how he has to turn there? And that's your key as that base stealer to get back to the bag.
There he goes. Pitch is swung on and missed. The throw to second by Ruiz, not in time. But he gets a strikeout of Votto. And that stolen base is the 6th for Dickerson. And that's the 2nd strikeout of the night for Jamie.
And then when you can't read him, what you do is you go on first move.
Which is what he did there.
It's exactly what he did. He just didn't even care whether or not he was going to throw over or not.
Well, Carlos was a little delayed with that throw, and I wonder if something bothered him after this throw.
Good fastball that he actually got to throw with, and he's in easily, showing you some of that speed I'm talking about with Dickerson.
Here's Phillips. He's 0 for 2. Uh-oh. Look at that face by Carlos. He's walking out to the mound. I wonder if he's okay. I wonder if that oblique is bothering him again.
Well, obviously, he looks to be in a little bit of pain there as J-Ro actually joins the conversation, asking him, hey, are you okay? Maybe going over as well on how to pitch Phillips in this situation, or just getting a little bit of a breather.
There's Mark Anderson, the Phillies, one of the Phillies athletic trainers. He's looking on.
Well, you can bet as soon as he gets in the dugout, Mark will probably be right over there with him to ask him. Got to remember, too, though, if you've heard something, it's very important to let you know right away, because you don't want to aggravate that injury anymore if it is one.
Looked like he was stretching his neck out a little bit there. 1-0 the count to Phillips. Chan-Ho Park loosening up in the bullpen for the Phillies. Jamie's thrown 87 pitches, so that might be one of the reasons why. That's a good pitch there, and it's 2-1.
Velocity 74. Tell you that that's his changeup. Fastball that Jamie throws is about 82, 84 or so.
In the air to left field. That's deep. Dobbs going back to the warning track, and Phillips has just given the Reds the lead. A 2-run home run. Second homer allowed tonight by Jamie. And it's 6-4 Cincinnati.
Boy, kind of really baited him into throwing that ball in, and it's just not a good pitch if it's not going to be off the plate. The pitch right before that was a changeup on the outside part of the plate, as he does his little whatever they do there. But watch where the pitch is. He wants this inside. This is see you later all over. You throw that ball and you don't get it in to a guy that can extend those arms, and he has no fear at the plate. So he just got back 2 runs for giving up 2 runs.
Yeah, he gave up the 2 runs with that ball off his glove on the line drive by Victorino. He and Francisco Cordero sharing a moment, it seems, in the dugout. And it's 6-4 Reds. 21st home run allowed by Jamie this season. And the count 0-2 to Hernandez.
Really surprised that he was even coming in there with a strike on the inside part of the plate. But again, I'm sure Jamie's thinking Phillips looking for the ball away. It's down and away, and it's a strike. It's going to be less damage. They're going to be hitting it out of the ballpark. Certainly not that far.
Line drive to left field. That's going to drop in for another base hit. So Hernandez is aboard for the second time tonight. His first hit of the evening. And Rich Doobie continuing to chart those pitches for Jamie. Charlie would like to get him through this inning.
Well, we always talk about how important it is to have shutdown innings to try and keep the momentum on your side. And with being worse, being able to score those runs with 2 outs. Just don't like that.
Johnny Gomes is 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. He has struck out. His base hit was back in the second inning when the Reds jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Phillies got 2 back in the third. Reds scored a run in the fourth. Phillies got 2 more in the bottom of the fourth. And the Reds have retaken the lead 6-4 here in the top of the fifth. There's that breaking ball. And the count holds 0-2.
Well, Jamie just doesn't have a lot of margin for missing his spots. Because when he misses them, the guys that can hit them out, they do. That's why when he gets into trouble, usually Jamie Moyer will go softer, as opposed to try and throw the ball a little bit harder.
Gomes with a couple of foul balls stays alive, and the count remains 0-2.
Yeah, those are the kind of swings, however, that you like hitters having where they're off balance. They get back and sit on that back leg and slow feet and ball in the wrong zone. You're asking for a little trouble.
Well, Jamie's heading toward 100 pitches tonight. You get the feeling that if he winds up losing Gomes here, there you see his splits. Charlie might go to Chan Ho Park with Edwin Encarnacion in the on-deck circle.
Well, especially after what he's done. That's a good call on that. Triple and a home run. Obviously, you see Jamie pretty good.
0-2 the count to Gomes. And now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, that's where he needs to be able to live, however. Them balls that are outside, just off the plate a little bit. Well, you can bring it up some, but not want to bring it up a lot more than that.
Oof.
Now that's the pitch. Basically, would have loved to have thrown Brandon Phillips, where it's kind of in, maybe off the plate, borderline. And that ball's inside a little.
You can see Carlos flipping that glove up a little bit. That's the indication that it might have been a little too far inside, maybe a little low. Gomes stays alive.
Well, again, he's a little bit off balance, and that's after coming inside. You get the hitter thinking, okay, well, what's he going to do? If he's going to come inside and then he misses out over the plate, the way he did with Brandon Phillips, it's just not going to come back.
On the hands, Jimmy Rollins is there. Now the inning is over, but the Reds get a couple more runs and a 2-run home run by Brandon Phillips. He gave the Phillies 2 runs in their half of the 4th, and he grabbed them right back there at the top of the 5th. Now get the expert analysis of former Major League pitcher Ricky Bottalico, plus exclusive player reactions on Sloan Toyota Presents Phillies post-game live after the game, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Now the Phillies are down 2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. And yes, the National League All-Star, the American League All-Star jerseys for that matter, are out and are for sale. And there you see one of them right there, and that's what they're going to look like this week. Ryan Howard and Chase Utley, Raul Ibanez, and Shane Victorino. Those are the jerseys they're going to wear. The batting practice jerseys that they'll wear.
So they're out already?
They are out already. The red jerseys with the old powder blue trim is what they look like. And I saw them today, and they look pretty sharp. The T-shirt jerseys are out as well. They have not only the red, but I believe they have the powder blue, too. In case you're interested, Sarge. Ryan Howard has doubled, and he's walked. He scored a run. And I would have to imagine that your friend Johnny B. Baker has a short leash on Micah Owings in this inning.
Yeah, it's 6-4. Yeah, well, let's see. Nobody warming up in the bullpen. 83 pitches so far.
Inside, ball 3. Jason Worth waiting on deck. Ball 4. Howard's aboard with his second walk tonight. So the Phillies have the leadoff batter here. And it's time now for our Geico quote of the day. And it comes from Shane Victorino. On the fan support for the All-Star game, it means a lot to me. It really means that these fans, what these fans are about. From day one when I got called up here in 05, I knew what I was coming into. I heard a lot of good things about these fans. It only gets better and better every day. 15 minutes could save you 15% on your car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 800-947-AUTO. And here are the National League jerseys for this year's All-Star game. The batting practice jerseys. Sharp look. Got the patch on here, and there it is. Victorino, number 8. Here's the powder blue we were talking about.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, really nice.
I think we might keep this one.
It is an extra large size.
That's real good. I like that.
Well, I mean, it's the same size that both of us wear. We could put that on.
Just like how you threw that in. You're going to start getting more letters. You put that on.
1-1 the count to Jason Worth. That's outside.
Yeah, you see how Jason sat a little bit on that, and again, he feels uncomfortable with pitchers that have that leg that kind of kicks over at him from that left side. Well, Jason keeps his shoulder in there. He's been doing a fairly good job, but he gets in and out in different at-bats.
Well, he's worked ahead now, 3-1. And with Josh Renicky now loosening up in the bullpen for the Cincinnati Reds. And Greg Dobbs on deck. If Worth winds up getting on, there's Chan-Ho Park. He's in the bottom bullpen. A good look at Jason. And he pops it up. Shallow right center. Phillips circling around it. And Ryan back to first.
Boy, don't see that often. That's a fastball. That's a 3-1 count. Predictable count.
Well, Sarge, this is Brandon Phillips going into his own dugout after his home run. Look at that fist that pops up right there.
That's Owens.
Yep.
He comes in and says, hey, way to go. Thanks a lot.
Owens has got the lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning, thanks to Brandon Phillips. Dobbs 0 for 2. He's grounded at first. He's flied out to center. He's showing bunt.
Not a good time to bunt. And I say that because he is hitting against that right-handed pitcher. Dobbs has the power to hit the ball out of the ballpark. So you'd rather see him swing. Especially with a man on. You know, you got Howard over at first base, so you bunt the ball. It's going to have to be a good bunt. But this way, if you hit a ball in the gap, you may can be able to score, get to third, and you obviously hit it out, and you can try to run.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Dodgers have increased their lead over the Mets. It's 8-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Rafael Furcal 3 runs scored. The Mets, who scored 3 runs in last night's ball game, more than 3 runs, have not scored more than 3 in consecutive games since the 21st and 22nd of June.
Yeah, Jerry Manuel getting a little bit upset, manager with the New York Mets. He says he doesn't know what to do.
Well, they're just not a good team.
So many injuries. I mean, let's face it, they have key players that are out. Reyes, their shortstop, all-star caliber player, and Beltran, for sure, one of the better players in the league. He's out.
3-1 pitch to Dobbs, stroked foul, and it's 3-2.
But obviously, nobody's feeling sorry for them. One of their big guns out, Carlos Delgado, their first baseman, had an excellent year last year. He's not there. And a host of pitchers.
Dobbs tried to check his swing, and he did check it, according to Ron Culpa, the third base umpire. Second walk of the inning issued by Owings. That's a pretty good hold by Dobbs. And Dusty Baker's heading out to the mound, and that should be it for Micah Owings.
Check this right out here, and
oh boy, that's a good call. He didn't go.
No. You know, and it's always very hard to tell, and a lot of times different umpires will call it different ways.
Dusty has not signaled to the pen just yet. Maybe he's going to keep him in. Josh Reneke is up and loosening. He's going to allow him to stay in the ball game.
Yep.
Are you surprised?
Well, he goes out and asks him how he feels. 96 pitches up to this point. But then what you do, though, you're showing confidence, you know, in your pitcher. And this is what you have to do with your players. You can't always take them out in every tough situation. You want to see how they are to be able to get out of different situations.
Pedro Feliz, a check swing. Looper, that's going to drop in for a base hit. Howard around third, heading for home. He's going to score. Great base running by Dobbs. He's in third. It's a 6-5 game.
Well, that's an excuse me swing. Pedro will take that. Now, that kind of makes up for some of those line drives that have actually been caught. See right now, we're getting ready. Dusty Baker's getting ready to have a change. Now, check this check swing out as he goes down, bailing at the plate. This time it actually paid off. And, well, Howard able to score simply because the ball wasn't hit so hard. That ball hit a little bit harder, Ryan's not going to be able to score. So that was actually perfect. Baker getting ready to double switch as he has Nix going out to left field.
So Nix will be the new left fielder. Josh Reneke will be the new pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. The Phillies will send a pinch hitter up for Carlos Ruiz. And they're down by 1 here at the bottom of the 5th. It's time now to bring you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Lance Nix into the ball game for the Reds. That means Nix will bat at the number 9 spot. Josh Renicky is the new pitcher, and the pitcher's spot is the number 6 hole. Dobbs is on third base. Feliz is on first, and Matt Stairs will pinch hit for Carlos Ruiz, who may have suffered an injury in the top of the 5th inning. So Stairs up there, and he takes the first pitch up high. They appeal, no swing, says Ron Kulpa. Paul Bacco was in the on-deck circle to pitch hit for Ruiz. Now he's in the on-deck circle to pitch hit for Jamie Moyer. There's Bacco. Two 2-0 the count to Stairs. Josh Renicky might be a familiar name to baseball fans out there. His dad Gary and his uncle Ron both were major leaguers. As you see Stairs' numbers as a pinch hitter this year, he's been solid.
Put a good swing on this pitch. Make sure the fastball's down if it is one.
On the outside corner, 2-1.
That's okay, though. That ball had movement and going outside. Not a pitch you want to swing at.
Here's Carlos Ruiz. We were talking about this before. He's trying to stretch his neck out. Remember, he was on the oblique. He was on the DL with an oblique strain earlier this year. It was after his throw to second base and to get a base runner trying to steal Chris Dickerson. Outside.
Predictable count here. Fastball that Stairs is looking for. Anything other than that, unless it's up in the zone, that breaking ball or that change up, you got to let it go. He's looking dead red, and Matt Stairs has said it. He's looking to do one thing and to drive the ball out of the ballpark.
And he hits one in the air down the right field line, foul as he pulls it. It's 3-2. And he broke his bat.
Got in on him. 95 as the ball came inside.
Using that Manny Mota stick, which is a combination of rosin and pine tar.
Right. Now this is when, though, you'd like to be able to cut down your swing a little bit because you don't want to have a check swing on a high fastball or that low breaking ball, that low hard breaking ball that comes down and in.
The tying run is on third. The go-ahead run is on first. The count 3-2 to Stairs. He stays alive.
Came in there with a slider in on his hands or a cutter. Looked like it moved in at the last minute. This is what you talk about when you're pitching inside where hitters can't get their arms extended. That ball's out over the plate. He's able to tack to it.
Ball 4, the bases are loaded.
That's a great at-bat. Just a great at-bat. Showing a lot of confidence and not just going up and swinging on anything. Bacco now coming up. He's going to have to get the head out. This guy's throwing 95. You don't want to be fouling balls off to that left side and then he gets you on that breaking ball.
Well, Bacco, as you just saw, 4 hits and 18 at-bats this year. He's hitting .222. Still looking for his first RBI for the Phillies. And we say this a lot, but he's swinging here against one of his old teams. And he's ahead 1-0. No salamis for Paco in his career.
Be a good time.
Little number up the third base line. It's foul.
Paco helping him out a little bit, swinging at a pitch that was down in the dirt. Big difference between 1-1 and 2-0. 2-0, you force that pitcher just about to throw you a good pitch, especially with the bases loaded. 1-1 again. He needs to get that ball up a little bit. And all you're trying to do is make solid contact. Or maybe take one for the club. Nothing wrong with that.
That one would have hurt, though, if it hit his foot.
Yeah, well, yeah, taking one for the club, meaning that you let that ball maybe hit you, but you would like something a little softer.
That's going to hurt a little bit. He fouled that one off his leg. And it's 2-2.
Want to be able to hit that ball anywhere, right back at the pitcher. Paco doesn't pull the ball a lot. You can see pitchers firing inside, inside, inside. Don't like to keep the ball away from him.
Lays off, it's full. 3-2 the count to Paco. Jimmy Rollins waits on deck. It's a 6-5 Reds lead, but the Phillies have the bases loaded for the second time tonight. Two of the three base runners are the responsibility of the guy we just saw sitting in the dugout. This sold-out crowd to their feet. And a hot shot toward first, backhanded by Bono to second for one. The race to the bag, safe at first, and the game is tied.
Well, very good hustling there by Paco to beat that double play. However, he did swing at ball 4 on that. The ball he hit hollow to Bono. That'd have been a little bit over, would have been in the hole. As you see Dusty Baker going out again.
Yeah, he golfed that one. You're right. That would have been ball 4. Bono, nice throw to second base. Giannis's return. And Reddick just wasn't there. And Owings doesn't like it. So Reddick faces 2 batters. His evening is over. And the diminutive left-hander, Daniel Ray Herrera, is about to enter the ball game for the Cincinnati Reds. It's a 6-6 game with runners on first and third. Have enabled the Phillies to tie this game up at 6 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Hit the ball sharply to the guy he's chatting with. And Votto went to second for one, and the return over to first was not there to retire Baco. Now Daniel Ray Herrera will commit to the game. Second time in this series he's pitching for the Reds. 37th game, 2.62 ERA. Sounds of Michael Jackson in the background. Jimmy Rollins will dig in with Feliz on third, Baco on first, as the Phillies try to reclaim, or I should say take the lead for the first time. Jimmy singled his last time up and scored a run. And a changeup line to left field, a base hit. The Phillies are going to take the lead. Second hit of the night for Rollins. It's now 7-6 Phillies.
Now pretty good clutch hitting there by J. Rowe coming up. Looks like an off-speed pitch as he goes out and hooks that ball. See how he goes out there and just lines that ball there in left field. Feliz crossing and scoring there in your pitcher. Good clutch hitting.
Well, they closed the book on Owings. Now Victorino's the batter with two away. Josh Reddick is there as well, gnawing on the gum in front of Micah Owings. Runner on second is Reddick's responsibility. Shane's 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs this evening. And it's 2-0.
Well, I'll say one thing, though, with Shane Victorino making that all-star team as that average continues to climb because it keeps the ball out of the air. He will keep that club loose in St. Louis. He'll be one of those guys talking to just about everyone.
Shane is the 4th All-Star from the state of Hawaii, joining Ron Darling, Sid Fernandez, and Charlie Huff. He is the first position player from Hawaii to make an All-Star team.
Well, again, that's why it really does mean so much to the people there in Hawaii, and particularly the Little Leaguers.
Ball 4, bases are now loaded. Baco goes to third, Rollins up to second, Dusty Baker off with his hat, and Chase Utley up to the plate. The Phillies have batted around. And this is what Chase did back in the 3rd inning, in case you missed it.
Boy, smokes the ball as it's going in center field. Ricochets off the 409, and Chase is on his horse as he gets in, standing up. High five there by Ryan Howard.
That home run for Chase is 20th of the year. He has 61 RBIs, his second career inside the park home run. And now the bases are loaded with the Phillies leading it by 1. And he takes a strike on the outside corner. The Phillies are the only team in the National League that have 4 players with 50 RBIs or more on the season. Chase is one of them. Dodgers have 3. And that gets away from Hernandez. Here comes Baco. He's chugging home, and he scores.
Wow.
Over to third goes J-Roll. Victorino up to second. And the Phillies lead it by 2. They tied it because of Baco's speed. They take a 2-run lead. Well, because of his speed.
Well, he's chugging on in there, and he made it easily as that ball was just boxed by Hernandez. See Chase bringing him in, and he slides in easily as he comes on in. Very nice.
Well, they scored a wild pitch. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Chase.
Well, you can see Chase bringing him in all the way. Now get down, and he does. That's a big run right there. Go ahead, 5-2.
And all these runs to support Jamie Moyer, who was pinch hit for in this inning, but is on the winning side right now.
Well, Jamie will take him any way he can. Again, sometimes you pitch your best game and you don't get a victory, or maybe no decision, and maybe you're so-so and you're able to get a win. Pitchers will take them any way they can. Their job is to keep you in the game in order to give you a chance to win the ball game.
That ball came in at 66 miles an hour. Chase just whacked it foul to stay alive. By the way, my partner up here is in that same category as Chase Utley with an inside the park home run. His came in May of '79 against the Pittsburgh Pirates at Kent Tacoma.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
I knew you would.
You know, and I got to tell you,
it took you until 1980 to catch your breath.
when you run that inside the park home run, it's almost as if you're running, if you will, and the runners out there know what I'm talking about. That 440 that they used to run. You are just dead out of breath when you get in.
Pop up, left field line. Nix over, and he makes the catch, and the inning is over. But the Phillies bat around here in the 5th inning. They score 4 runs, and as we go to the 6th, they lead it by 2. His first half for his new club. Ryan Howard returns to the Home Run Derby and his second All-Star appearance, and he will do it in his own backyard. And finally, thanks to all the fans from Malvern to Maui, the Flying Hawaiian was double-clicked into the 33rd and final spot on the NL roster. The gateway to the West is open for the Phillies, and it is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. We're here for you every step of the way. Well, Shane Victorino and Brandon Inge are the representatives for the American League and National League to 33rd spots on this year's All-Star roster. Paul Bacco remains in the ballgame after legging out a fielder's choice and then legging one home on a wild pitch, and he'll catch the offerings of Chan Ho Park here in the top of the 6th inning, who takes over for Jamie Moyer, who leaves with a 2-run lead as we go to the top of the 6th inning. So there's Park's numbers, 25th ball game. And he will face the bottom of the order, but it includes Lance Nix, who is in the number 9 spot now. First pitch to Encarnacion is taken inside. Encarnacion is tripled. He's homered. Has 3 ribbies, and it's 1-1. I mentioned that the coaching staff will head to St. Louis as well for the All-Star game. The Phillies have had 4 other managers that have managed the All-Star game before. As there's a 2-hopper to Jimmy. So Charlie Manuel's in some select company. He's the 5th Philly manager to manage an All-Star game. The previous 4, Sarge, won their All-Star game.
Well, we had something to look forward to.
That's a good omen. Eddie Sawyer back in 1951 at Briggs Stadium, which is old Tiger Stadium. His National League team beat the American League team 8-3. Dallas Green in 81 at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland defeated the American League 5-4. Paul Owens in 84 at Candlestick Park, his National League squad beat the American League squad 3-1. And Jim Fregosi needed extra innings at Three Rivers in 94 to defeat the American League 8-7. As Paul Giannis takes a pitch low, it's 2-1.
Pretty good honor too for the coaches to be there.
2-2 the count to Giannis. And back in 1981, when Dallas Green was managing the All-Star game, there was his left fielder. He took your spot.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He sure did.
Did Giannis go? He knew. And it's 2-2. Was that one of those years where they said, you know, if we could have taken one more, it would have been you?
Let me tell you something. It just happened so, I mean, it did. It happened to me about 4 or 5 times. Finally, I just said, hey, it is a popularity contest. As you can see, Dusty made it in a couple times.
Man won a gold glove that year. Now there's ball 4, so Giannis is aboard with a 1-out walk. Chandler Park wanted that pitch. So I guess what we're saying is that the National League hasn't won an All-Star game in quite a while. But if history were to repeat itself, they're in pretty good hands with Charlie Manuel.
Well, they have a lot of first basemen that will probably do the bulk of the pinch hitting.
That's in the air to right center field, a towering shot. Ballpark will keep it though. And Victorino got there in plenty of time for the 2nd out. And Giannis goes back to first. There is a chance that Shane Victorino starts in the All-Star game. Now, I mean, I say there's a chance because Carlos Beltran is not going to play. If you think about it, right now, Shane is the purest of center fielders that are available on that National League roster.
Well, give him something else to talk about.
Willie Taveras, the batter, with 2 away. And the count 0-1. Taveras didn't like that call.
It's not good to be arguing your very, very first there pitch. See where the pitch is. Well, a little bit low, but what are you going to do? Now, usually after you've said something to an umpire and Taveras came close to showing him up. The pitch is close. You might want to be hacking. Might want to be swinging the bat if the pitch is close. And don't even dare check swing.
That wasn't close.
I don't know what that was. He just fired it high. Trying, I guess, to get him to swing at something up in the zone. Not going to be swinging at that.
To right field. Worth wasn't deep. Had him played perfectly. And he makes the grab. Pretty easy inning for Chandler Park in relief of Jamie Moyer. And the Reds go down quietly here in the top of the 6th inning. So, as we go to the home 6th, and once again, it'll be Howard, Worth, and Dobbs to lead it off. Mason. Who but W.B. Mason for amazingly low office product prices. By McDonald's, introducing new Angus burgers made with juicy 100% Angus beef. Available with premium toppings in 3 varieties for just $3.99. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Ryan Howard leads it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ryan has scored twice tonight. He's 1 for 1. 2 walks, a double. And the Phillies lead it 8-6. And it's 1-1. Sarge, I have to correct something.
Sure.
That I said in the last inning. I was saying that Charlie Manuel was going to be the 5th Phillies manager to manage in an All-Star game. I had totally forgotten that in 1965, Gene Mauch managed the National League at Metropolitan Stadium in Minnesota. And he won.
Well, the story's still good.
And Ryan down on strikes as he spins himself. And there's one away. Now, the Phillies, of course, did not win in the National League pennant in 1964. Usually it's the manager of the team that won the pennant that manages in the next year. But I want to thank Bob Bloss, who, a guy that we always saw around the ballpark at Veterans Stadium, and from time to time see here at Citizens Bank, for pointing that out. So Charlie will be the 6th Phillies manager to manage an All-Star game. And Jason Worth has had 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, a lot of times, too, for the coaches, they like those days off, but when you're going to the All-Star game, you relish the fact that you're going to be in the All-Star game. It is a lot of fun for them. Bill Thompson will be the hitting coach. And the guys will be coming up and asking what different guys throw.
Well, if I were Milt and I looked at that lineup, I'd feel pretty good about it.
I know I did in Chicago, even though we ended up losing that game.
3-2 the count. Well, it didn't count then, though, Sarge. It wasn't for the home field advantage of the postseason.
I'm just talking about the loss.
Worth to center field. That one's well struck. Tavares going back to the warning track. It's gone! Wow. Into the bushes. Boy, did that ball carry. Jason Worth, a solo home run, his 20th of the year. And the Phillies lead it 9-6.
Wow.
Did he take a full swing at that one?
This is what you call dropping the head on a pitch down in the zone as he jumps into the Cadillac straight away center field. And this was after a called strike on a high pitch. Now, look how he goes down. See you later. Cadillac time. I mean, this ball, line drive, going, gone. Nice swing.
Here's Greg Dobbs, and he'll take one on the outside corner. All right, now for Worth, 20 home runs and 54 RBIs. The Phillies now have 4 players with 20 home runs or more before the All-Star game.
Almost a shame, though. He has 20 home runs, and I'll say it. He looks like he deserves to be in that All-Star game.
Votto floats the throw, and Herrera's there.
That's a lot of bombs to hit the first half.
And Charlie will have a choice to make with Beltran not being able to play in this year's All-Star game. And, I know Matt Kemp is, was part of the extra 5, but Kemp has 10 homers. Worth has 20.
I mean, it's just, it's almost a no-brainer. The kid has been smoking the ball and hitting the ball, playing great defense that they don't talk about. He's an all-star player.
Well, Herrera's night is done. We've got a new pitcher here at Citizens Bank Park. It's Robert Manuel, the rookie. Phillies lead it 9-6. Hey, are you ready for the 2009 Major League Baseball All-Star Game? Well, Ryan Howard is. Catch all the action live from St. Louis on Tuesday, July 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And a reminder, this one counts, and that's a great shot of the other two All-Stars, Shane Victorino and Chase Utley. Raul Ibanez is up at Lehigh Valley right now, and Raul went 1 for 2 tonight in his rehab with a double, 2 walks, and 2 RBIs. And they're looking on, watching the video board, tell the fans to get loud as Robert Manuel checks in for his first appearance this season on his 26th birthday. Those are his numbers at Louisville. 8 saves in 32 games and a 2.51 ERA. And the first batter he'll face is Pedro Feliz. Pedro's 1 for 3 tonight. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. 0-2 the count to Pedro.
Pedro bailing a little bit at the plate there. Again, he has to really work hard on staying in there. And that's why his average is where it is right now at 290, because he's consistently hit that ball up the middle and the other way.
Well, that one is up the middle. Tamara's got a late jump, but it's going to drop in for a base hit. Second straight hit for Pedro Feliz. With 2 away, Chan-Ho Park's going to get a chance to take a hack here. Park is in the number 8 spot because Paul Bacco remained in the game after pinch hitting in the number 9 hole. That's what Chan-Ho Park's done this year. He's 1 for 12 with a home run. Opposite field shot. And his bullpen mates are looking on. They like when their fellow bullpen pitchers get a chance to get some at-bats. And that one goes right by Encarnacion.
I got to tell you, they had some good topspin on that. Don't know how they're going to score it. I haven't scored a hit. That ball just actually ate him up. I've got to tell you, I've been out with Mr. Baker. As you can see, this ball, topspin. Third baseman, however, should catch that ball. I mean, it's just, I don't know what to say about it. Pitcher gives you all you need to know. But I was out with Mr. Baker here the last couple of nights, and he was not in a very good mood.
I don't think he'll be telling any jokes after this one either. The way things have gone for his team up to this point. Here's Bacco. Bacco has driven in a run on a fielder's choice, scored a run on a wild pitch. So he's 0 for 1. Two and two the count to Bacco. We have not received a report on Carlos Ruiz as to why he was lifted from this game. And here's the attendance for tonight, 45,146. 34th sellout. The Phillies have drawn more than 1.8 million fans. Unbelievable the way that the crowds have continued to pack this beautiful ballpark. And this is a great night because it's fireworks night following this game. And they're doing a wave. Kind of early to do the wave, but they're doing it anyway. chopper toward first. There's a foul ball. Bacco keeps on firing, one foul ball after another. Feliz on second base. Chan-Ho Park on first.
Just a little bit late on the fastball. Needs to get it started a little bit quicker. Right, ball only 85. I'd imagine that's his changeup.
Now the Toyota Major League scoreboard. The Braves have taken a 4-2 lead over the Rockies. Jeff Francoeur is a 2-run double. That game's at the top of the 4th inning. And Bacco's down on strikes, and the inning is over. Phillies, though, get another run on a home run by Jason Worth, his 20th of the season. So we have played 6, a whole lot of runs tonight, and a whole lot of base hits.
Hey, Tommy, anything happened since I left?
Well, it took a long time, whatever did happen.
Unbelievable. Those 3 innings, the 4th, 5th, and 6th that you and Sarge just had. And there's a Verizon wireless game. So where do you go with this game? It's just flat out goofy. And the Phillies have a 3-run lead, and that part's real good.
Yeah, we got to put the wheels of Paul Bacco on that Verizon wireless game summary, too. As we begin the top of the 7th inning, Chris Dickerson against Chan-Ho Park. The count, no balls and 1 strike. Bacco came on when Charlie Manuel decided to pinch hit for Carlos Ruiz. Carlos looked like he injured himself.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Do you think it was that side again?
Well, it could be, but he was spinning his neck around a little bit after that throw.
He had some problems with that too.
Stairs pinch hit. He walked, and then Bacco pinch hit and grounded to a fielder's choice.
Yeah, he definitely did that move because of an injury.
As it turns out, the Phillies now have scored 5 unanswered runs.
Well, and Chan-Ho Park becomes a huge part of this game if he can give them some innings right now. Because as we said earlier, and that was a long time ago, don't know if Matson's available.
Oh boy, that was a nice pitch. Just didn't come back enough. And it's 1-2. There he goes. He got him on a slider. And Dickerson is strikeout victim number 1 for Chan Ho Park. Well, these lucky fans for tonight's Citizens 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. 1 out for Joey Votto. As we were talking before about Charlie Manuel being the 6th Phillies manager to manage in an all-star game. I had said 5th originally. Because I had forgotten that Gene Mauch had managed the 65 all-star game. Bob Bloss called to remind us, which we're very appreciative of. And it's kind of like a baseball education.
Yeah.
Johnny Keane had managed St. Louis in 64.
Right.
And then left to manage the Yankees in 65.
Right. He went to the Yankees, and the Phillies, of course, this hurts, had been the runner-up.
Yeah.
Because there were only two leagues at that time. You didn't have divisions and all that. So the Phillies had finished second, as we all know. In 64.
Yeah.
Which is still so painful. And so Gene Mauch was the manager after Johnny Keane moved over to the Yankees.
Johnny Keane won 93 games, as everybody knows, in 64 with the Cardinals. Won 77 with the Yankees in 65 and was fired after 20 games in 66.
64. Oh, boy. There's still a lot of scars around here for people that lived through that. It's better to read about it than have lived it.
2-2 the count. Votto's got a base hit in 3 official at bats. On the inside corner, called strike 3. And as we've said a number of times in this series, I'm sure that Joey Votto doesn't agree, but that was a pretty good pitch.
Well, that looked like one of those running tail and fastballs. Let's see if that's what it did, because Chan Ho has a good one. Yeah, that's a strike. You know, that's a great pitch. That's that pitch that Rodrigo Lopez was using last night. I was talking to Rich Doobie about that tonight. Just hanging out by the dugout with the grip, because we had a great shot of the grip on it last night on the 2-seamer. And so why don't more guys throw that? And he said, well, it's harder to throw than you think. It's harder to control for a right-hander than you might think, throwing it to that side like that. And he said, you know, you'd like to teach it, but many guys cannot throw that pitch, and that's why they don't throw it more.
Now, did he show Lopez lifting the index finger?
He showed the two fingers on the seams,
okay,
like that one that that great freeze frame that we had of that 2-seam fastball.
1-1 the count. By the way, Charlie said today that he thinks that Rodrigo Lopez was just going through a little tendonitis, and there was no official report on how he was doing. We might have an official report on that guy tomorrow on how his fingers are after that foul ball. A few hops, but
he looks like he can handle it.
Yep,
he's tough.
1-2 the count.
That's a good slider, very tight slider. And Park can also throw a breaking ball too, a curve ball, but that thing really had some late bite. Phillips is a pull-off guy against right-handed pitchers if you can get it away from him. 3 hits in this series, all bombs.
I think he thinks he may have missed another one.
Well, he had a high fastball to hit there, and Park's velocity, I think that makes it a tough pitch to do anything but foul it off or pop it up. You know, if you don't throw real hard, you can drive that pitch. That's really hard to get on top of.
On the outside corner, called strike 3. A curveball from Chan Ho Park, and he has just struck out the side here in the 7th inning. Time to do a little stretching here at Citizens Bank Park as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Chan Ho Park, 1 strikeout, 2 strikeouts, and strikeout number 3. Well, it's time now for the Dodge Stunt the Fans Trivia Quiz. Answer. Who was the first pitcher, Wheels, ever to throw a no-hitter against the Reds?
I have no idea, unless you give me some kind of hint.
There's an award named after him?
Oh, my. 1890s. Come on. See, I kind of figured it was going to be something like that when those guys went back that far, you know.
At Cleveland, too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. We didn't have to go far.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of the Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans. Well, we start the bottom of the 7th inning. And Jimmy 2 for 4, couple singles and RBI. Facing Robert Manuel. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. Robert Manuel making his major league debut for the Reds.
Well, nobody up in the Phillies bullpen, so you know they're looking to ride Chan-Ho Park into the next inning, and if he can get through it, you know, probably go to Lidge for the 9th. Boy, is Chan-Ho Park valuable since he's gone to the bullpen and accepted that role.
Ball's moving every which way.
Well, he has good stuff, and he comes out. He's a totally different pitcher in the pen because he comes after hitters. He's not out there nibbling.
Ball 4, and Jimmy's aboard with a leadoff walk here in the home 7th. There's Robert Manuel's family who are here for his major league debut. They've come up from Texas, from Houston, Texas. He played college ball at San Jacinto Junior College and also Sam Houston State. And that's his first major league strikeout, and they were happy about it. Dad doesn't know what to do.
What's he going to do? Go down the field and shake his hand?
I think he,
That's what
he wants the baseball or something.
Nice going. That's my boy.
That's pretty cool.
My boy, those 2 hits, you got to understand, they were dribblers.
Yeah.
That he gave up.
Yeah, the one should have been played at third.
Yeah. And the other one was a kind of like a little blooper.
Victorino, a looper foul, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Shane's going to have a lot of phone calls to make after this ball game.
He probably got a few text messages, huh?
Oh. And he's down on strikes. 1 away. He's going to have to call the mayor of Las Vegas, the mayor of Philadelphia, the governor of Pennsylvania, his dad Mike, all the mayors in Maui.
Well, that mayor of Vegas is Oscar Goodman, who was a Philadelphian. Oscar was a longtime attorney here in Philadelphia, and then I went out to Vegas, and there's a very popular mayor out there. And he's still a big Phillies fan. We were out there a number of years ago for some exhibition games, and he was up in the booth with us.
Here's Chase Utley, who's 2 for 4. Well, Shane has done all he can today to thank the fans here in Philadelphia. He's got to thank those 3 guys from WIP, the contestants who were back here for a couple of days, clicking Shane Victorino and Brandon Inge nonstop.
Yeah, he said. I know he gave him a lot of grab ball. Did he? I think he even met them. I'm trying to remember. Heard so many stories about stuff Shane's done lately. They were good kids.
There's a pop up. Encarnacion makes the catch, and that's the 2nd out.
Watching the rookie Manuel, he doesn't throw very hard, but he's got some breaking stuff and trying to spot his fastball a little bit. And you know, it's a long game, and they look like they're getting a little antsy out there. Not the parents, they are too, but the hitters. This got to be an unbelievable feeling, huh?
Unbelievable.
I can't imagine what that's like for them to sit there and see their son in a major league game. Wow.
At a beautiful place like this, in front of a sold-out crowd against the world champions.
you just add a little more to it. Yeah. They're from Texas. She knew it was going to be chilly, so she brought a little jacket.
Dad's probably sitting there saying, "Oh boy, Ryan Howard's up."
I was thinking, probably got to get one more out, and that'll be it. Please.
Fly ball to foul territory. Left field line. Encarnacion's not going to have room. And the count is even 1-1 to Ryan. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Diamondbacks have put a 2 spot on the board thanks to Justin Upton's 2-run home run at the bottom of the first inning.
Those Uptons are really talented.
Yes, they are.
B.J. Upton, of course, we saw him with the Rays, and Justin Upton, we'll see him soon. He's got a lot of ability.
Diamondbacks have won 5 straight games going into that series against the Marlins. Brandon Phillips will take care of Ryan Howard in a fairly easy inning for Robert Manuel. So he strands a base runner. A hug for, well, we would assume, Mom. We played 7. We go to the 8th, and the Phillies lead at 9-6. Chevy dealers and by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 800-947-AUTO. Top of the 8th inning, Phillies lead it 9-6. 9 runs on 12 hits. Phillies trying to win another series here at home. Not only that, win their 6th game in 7 here at Citizens Bank Park and draw even closer to the 500 mark at home.
They're going to warm J.C. Romero up in the bullpen right now. They still have Jay Bruce on the bench, a very dangerous left-handed hitter, and he is out in the on-deck circle. Now, he doesn't represent the tying run. No matter what happens here with Hernandez.
I guess the Phillies were down until they scored the 4 in the 5th inning. You know, this feels like this 3-run lead feels like it's like 15-6 or something.
Oh yeah. You know when some of these games at home have been a little bit shaky, so you never feel real good about it until that bell's ringing out there.
There's Charlie looking at his lineup card, looking at the Reds lineup card too.
Well, he's looking to see who they have left. They have 3 players left. A lot of times they could have an extra man with Micah Owings as a pinch hitter, but of course not tonight because he was a pitcher and left early.
There's Bruce. And the count 1-2 to Ramon Hernandez. Phillies bullpen during this series has allowed 1 run in 17 innings of work. Not too shabby.
No, that's pretty good.
The starters have been really good. Jamie gave up 6 tonight, but they've been really good for this homestand. And Chan-Ho Park thought he had a strikeout there. He thought he saw Dale Scott flinch a little bit, but instead it's 3-2.
Seen a lot of pitches tonight as Dale Scott.
Off the end of the bat, and Jimmy goes high in the air and pulls it down.
Boy, he timed that perfect. Great athletic play there by Jimmy Rollins. Here it is. Look at him just time it and then jump as high as he can. That's an athlete right there.
Sure is.
Wow.
So Jay Bruce will pitch hit. And he swings at the first pitch, and Ryan Howard's got it. And a race to the bag, and it's won by the big man. We just mentioned the Arizona Diamondbacks, the fact that they are leading the Marlins 2-0 in the first inning of their ball game. Well, it's never too early to plan on the Diamondbacks coming to Philly. They come Tuesday, August 18th for a 3-game series. All 3 are night games. 1 game is sold out. And the 18th of August, there's still seats available. The 20th of August, still seats available. It's a Fanatic value date, the August 20th game. You can log on to Phillies.com to make your purchase. Edwin Encarnacion is 2 for 3.
Yeah, big night. Pretty productive too.
A 2-run triple, solo home run.
Oh, has this guy done a job tonight when they really needed him? Man. Charlie nodded his head like, yeah.
Yeah, Wheels.
Working that gum.
I was walking in with Channel Park today. I asked him what he was doing during the All-Star break. He said that there's a television station from South Korea that is following him around because he was named one of the more inspirational figures in South Korea. So they're doing a documentary on him. And that's what he's done in relief this year, and those numbers are dipping.
Yeah, that station was all over the field before the game. In fact, they asked him to leave a certain area. They were down a little bit too far down the foul line. They put him up in the stands for a while.
Three and two.
You can see Chano Park's reaction, and he knows he's one hitter away from just doing a tremendous job here tonight. And he kind of overthrew that 2-2 breaking ball.
The outside corner, strike 3 called. 4 strikeouts for Chad Hope Park. He's retired the side in order for the 2nd straight inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Phillies up 3. training down the shore for the annual Trial at the Isle. And Neil Hartman, Amy Fadul, and Greg Murphy put a Comcast Sportsnet twist on the kayaking, biking, and running events. Plus, hear from Lou Williams on potentially becoming the Sixers starting point guard this upcoming season. All the news Phillies fans need to know after the ball game, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Phillies lead it 9-6 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and one of the reasons why they're up by 3 is the pitching of Chan Ho Park.
What a great 3 innings. There's a curveball, uses curveball, a slider, tailing, running fastball there. Another hook to Phillips. And that pitch was probably outside there to Encarnacion, but hey, it's strike 3. 3 tremendous innings for Chan Ho Park.
They'll pick it up for Jamie Moyer. Moyer went the first 5. He's in line to be the winner tonight if Phillies can hang on. And here's Carlos Fisher, who's the new pitcher for the Reds. Jason Worth leads it off. He's 2 for 4.
And Lidge is getting up. This is a save situation, at least at this point.
Willis, how about that ball that Worth hit for a home run as you see Fisher's numbers there?
That was another screamer.
Almost looked like he had stopped his swing and then slowly picked it up again.
And it flew out. Well, that was off Herrera, right?
Yeah.
Well, those things can happen with him. You know, because he's very deceptive and he doesn't throw real hard.
Look at those numbers for Jason. He's on pace for a 30-plus home run year, 100 RBI season, 100 run season.
There's still one more selection to be made for the All-Star team. He's probably going to get some consideration.
I think he has to, doesn't he?
Yep. But there's some other guys too. You think about Kep.
Well, even Pablo Sandoval, who Shane Victorino edged out for the fan vote. I mean, he's had a very good year for the Giants.
And because of it being Beltran, an elected player by the fans, it doesn't have to be that position. You know, it can be anybody. Here's the home run Tom's talking about off Herrera. And you see it looked like a low fastball, and he just golfed it out of here to dead center.
Hits and 17 walks over his last 16 games.
That'll help your OB on base percentage, huh?
Try to hold up. They appeal. No swings as the first base umpire Jerry Meals. Well, this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. on the floor of the Spectrum, you can enjoy deep discounts on merchandise from the Phillies, Sixers, and Flyers, jersey, caps, apparel, playoff merchandise, and more. You can visit Phillies.com for more information. There are concession specials, free parking, and an appearance by the Fanatic as well. And plus, you get one more look at the Philadelphia Spectrum before it is all gone.
Well, a lot of memories that has. People in this area, not only for the sporting events, the concerts that were in there.
Billy Joel, I saw Billy Joel there a number of times.
Yeah. Neil Diamond.
I didn't see Neil Diamond.
Fleetwood Mac, I saw them there a couple times. It just, you know, so many. Elvis Presley appeared in there.
Did you see him there?
No. Elvis Presley did 2 concerts there one day. He did an afternoon one at 3 o'clock that Colonel Tom Parker talked him into doing because of the demand for tickets, and then he did one that night, evidently.
Greg Cobb's the batter.
I heard that on Rockin' Ron Cage show on Oldies 98. Sunday morning Elvis show.
It's like Sid Mark having the Sunday morning Frank Sinatra show.
Sid Mark. You talk about a legend in this town. Sid Mark and Frank Sinatra show.
One and one the count to Dobbs.
Spectrum had so many great Bruce Springsteen concerts too over the years. It just holds so many memories. Stanley Cups, great basketball.
Well, before the Spectrum is taken down, Pearl Jam is going to appear there in concert. It's going to be in October.
Would that be Eddie Vedder? Just shock you sometimes.
Well, you've been around baseball enough, and Jason Worth has just been picked off first. And Eddie Vedder is a huge baseball fan. And there's the first out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, they're just careless on Jason. Worst part, I don't know whether he's trying to steal here or not. Let's see. Yeah, he may have been. You know, and Davey Lopes, he got him too.
Yeah, good call.
Davey Lopes likes, you know, he was on earlier. You know, he likes those guys that want to run a little bit, and guys who are going to steal get picked off once in a while.
Runs the count full in 3-2. Dobbs is down on strikes. 2 away. They'll leave things for Pedro Feliz. Feliz leading it by 3, trying to pick up their 3rd win in this series, their 6th win on this homestand. Not only that, continue to get some distance between themselves and some of the other teams in the National League East. And the Mets are getting beat up right now by the Dodgers, so they can gain a game, another game on the Mets. The Marlins are losing right now. The Braves are tied with the Rockies at 4. And we go to the 9th inning. The Phillies lead it by 3, and it's time for Brad Lidge here at Citizens Bank Park. Watch Play Along live online with Michael Barkan and Ricky Metallico at csnphilly.com. Make predictions, answer trivia, chat with friends, and earn points to win great prizes. Play Friday Night Fever tomorrow night during the Phillies game by logging on to csnphilly.com, keyword fever. Top of the 9th inning, the Phillies, who at one time trailed this ball game 3-0 and 4-2. They lead it 9-6, and they turn things over to Brad Lidge, trying to save his 17th game of the year. Brad, no wins, 4 losses, a high ERA. At this point, you just got to, and we've said this before, just toss aside the ERA and move forward with Brad.
Right. It's like Jimmy Rollins right now. Can't worry about his batting average. It's going to be very high this year. But, you know, what do you do from a certain point on? And that's what Brad Lidge has to do. Just separate these seasons and go out there and do his job, which he's more than capable of doing, and it gives his team such a shot in the arm if they think he can close the game at the end.
Yeah, Brad lost the only game on this homestand that the Phillies have lost against the Cincinnati Reds. He's also saved a couple of games.
Well, didn't you say they've only given up 1 run out of the bullpen?
That's it, his run.
That would be it.
Yep. So he's on here to face Giannis, Nix, and then the top of the order. Giannis tonight is 1 for 2. He's at bat in the 4th, which was originally an error. It was changed to a base hit. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Jamie Moyer started. He went the first 5, allowed 6 runs. Chan-Ho Park, though, outstanding relief work. 3 innings of scoreless baseball, and the count is 0-2.
Good slider.
One away. Another good slider. Giannis is down on strikes. And a reminder that this game will encore tonight at 10:30 Eastern Time and tomorrow at 6 a.m. on the Comcast Network.
Way through fastball and then slider, slider, and these are good ones. Now, those are potential chase sliders if you can get ahead, because that starts in the strike zone and then buries.
Lance Nix is 0 for 1. And that fastball tailed inside. Brad, at this point last year, was preparing for the All-Star game up in New York at Yankee Stadium, old Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, and that was a game where he had to warm up so many times. That's another reason why they're taking an extra pitcher.
Up high, 3-0. Willie Taveras waits on deck for the Reds. And that's a strike. It's 3-1. Tillage fastball tonight is 92, 93 miles an hour. This past weekend, he was hitting 95 on the gun. He was firing. And he's worked it back full, 3-2. $45,000 plus waiting for a Phillies win and some fireworks. To shallow right center field. Utley is backpedaling. Worth coming on. Jason makes the running grab. And that's the second out here in the 9th inning. That ball was not coming down in the area that Chase Utley wanted it. It was sort of tailing back to the middle of the field.
Yeah, well, the wind's died down a little bit, but it's still taking the ball right to left, and that's what happened with that thing.
So 2 outs now. Willie Taveras, who's 0 for 4. The Phillies have held him in check this series. He has 2 infield hits. That's it. Feliz in on the grass at third. And Brad falls behind 1-0. Phillies are trying to get closer to 500 at home. And they're trying to increase their cushion in the division going into this weekend series with the Pirates. One and two the count to Taveras. And now this crowd of 45,146. All arms and legs to their feet. Little low.
Great guy. Try and chase, and he wouldn't do it.
Let's see if Brad gets in the chase again. He fought it off. And it remains 2-2.
Somebody's ducking down there. He's headed right for the Phillies dugout. Slider, and he kind of inside out of it.
Well, there's Greg Dobbs over there. Mayberry's in at left for him. a lot of people flinched on that one. It's been that kind of series. And the count is full, 3-2 to Tavares. Ball 4. You know, as a fan, you always love the end of a game when you get that emotion all the way up.
Well, he had those 2 strikes on him, and you know that got everybody on their feet, and it looked like he had it. But that was a good job by Tavares. Now they'll just play off him. If he wants to run, they don't care. It'll just be a fielder's choice.
Here's Dickerson, 1 for 4. He has scored a run tonight. That was back in the 5th inning. So we'll start it over again. Get the engine motor in again. There's Tavares not being held on. He goes. And the first pitch is a check swing, but he went around, says the home plate umpire Dale Scott. 0-1. So Tavares on second base with that fielder's choice. Defensive indifference. To the count. 92 right on the inner half. Dickerson doesn't think so. His fans thought so.
Yep, here we go again.
Yep, to their feet again. No balls and 2 strikes. The count to Dickerson. He checked. This play by Baco. And it's 1-2.
You really want to get him out because Votto is on deck. Joey Votto is a potential power guy. Tie and run.
He checked again. No appeal. 2-2.
Another slider and he stayed off it.
It's impressive that he's able to hold up on those pitches. A lot of youngsters will go right after it. And Brad knows that.
I'm sure he plays with the aggressive nature of the young player.
Everybody trying to get the perfect spot to see the final out. 2-2 the count to Dickerson. Got him. Slider swung on and missed. And the Phillies have taken 3 of 4 from the Cincinnati Reds. They come from behind and win it tonight by a final score of 9-6.